Met now motions to the right boundary. Snap back, pocket holds, over the middle, catch at the 2, into the end zone. Olamide Zaccheaus, touchdown Bears! Third and a bunch sent to the left side numbers. Snap back, 4-man rush. Caleb with a double move, throw down the left sideline. DJ Moore inside the 5, end zone, touchdown! Touchdown Bears! They've taken the lead on the Packers with 1:43 to go. 25 yards, the same connection. Week 16, a walk-off win. This connection, a 3-point lead. Wow!
I mean, I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
They wanted us. That's what I heard. They wanted it, and they got it.
The Bears conquer the Green Bay Packers last night, 31-27. Welcome in. I'm Jack McGrath with you from 9 to noon. And Bears fans, this show is for you. Finally, the Bears have taken down the Green Bay Packers. They beat them twice this season. And officially, the Bears were already kings of the North. Well, now it's official. Not only did they win the division this year, but they went and beat the Green Bay Packers down 18 points at halftime, and they came all the way back. And it was all 4 phases of the game in this one that led the Bears to victory. 3-1-2, 3-3-2, 3-7-7-6. And Bears fans, you have been waiting so long for this moment. We have been waiting so long for this moment. And finally, it feels like the Bears are at the top of the division. They are the best team in the division. And they sent Green Bay packing. They sent them home. Green Bay did want the Bears. They talked about it all week long. And the Bears came in and absolutely came back in that game. A game that at points felt like it was over. Riding the waves of that game last night was crazy. I was lucky enough to be in the stadium, and I said all 4 phases contributed to this win yesterday. I was there with my dad. I was there with my sister. My grandparents were season ticket holders. Luckily, we were lucky enough that those have stayed in the family, so I get to go to a few games a year, and I was in the stadium last night, and last night felt absolutely electric in that stadium. The Bears say there are 4 phases. Yesterday, the 4th phase for the Chicago Bears made a huge impact on that game, causing delay of games, causing false starts. The fans yesterday showed emotion, and they never really were down and out. I walked around at halftime of yesterday's game, and before the half, that stadium got quiet. It was so loud at the start of the game, I couldn't hear the person sitting next to me. But at halftime, it got a little bit quiet in the stadium. I walked around the stadium. I was meeting up with some friends, Tyler and Shay, actually, from the radio station as well. We're at the game. I met up with them and Charlie as well. And I walk around, and I hear somebody say at halftime, as Brandon McManus misses that field goal, and they say that's going to come back to bite the Packers. That's one that's going to mean something. And maybe I was doubting at that point. I was nervous coming into the game. The Packers had just taken so much away from the Bears for so long that I was like, I don't know if really that's going to mean something in the end. The Bears are down 18 points at halftime. The Packers are getting the ball. This game seems like the Bears might be toast. But then they weren't toast. That did mean something. And it's because this team continues to come back that the fans have the belief in the stadium that they're able to get up and still cheer even when the team is down 18, because in the past that wouldn't have happened. Quick stat for you. That was the 4th largest comeback in any Bears game and the biggest comeback in a playoff game in Bears history. They've never done that in a playoff game before. The air was taken out at halftime, but that stadium got right back into it. The Bears offense, it came down the field. They weren't able to convert. They had that bad 4th and 1 play in the 3rd quarter. But the defense stepped up as well. They woke up in the second half. That's the other phase that woke up in the second half. Only 6 points in the 4th quarter. Once they started getting pressure on Jordan Love, he couldn't do anything. And there was some help from Brandon McManus, too. The offense, he cost the Packers 10 points yesterday. 7 points yesterday. That was a big issue for them. They would have had 10 points in that second quarter if he could kick a field goal. But let's talk about the special teams. The Packers were gifting the Bears plays in this game, and they wouldn't take them. The Bears would not take them. But special teams stepped up and made a huge statement. Richard Hightower's group saved the Bears when they were struggling to come up with some lucky fumbles. The Packers threw to an offensive lineman in the third quarter, for Pete's sake, which could have put the Bears right in that red zone. But the Bears couldn't recover the fumble. Javon Dexter's juggling the ball out of bounds, and the Bears can't recover it. I was thinking that was a chance for the Bears. But then Devin Duvernay on the very next punt might have saved the game with a Devin Hester-like boost. He was in the stadium yesterday. Devin Duvernay has a 40-yard kick return. Sets up the Bears. They're able to kick another field goal. And Cairo Santos, for all the flack he's gotten because he can't kick a long field goal, like one of the 4th and 2 plays right before halftime, the Bears were at the 37-yard line. 4th and 4 from the 37-yard line. I thought that's where you kick it. But Cairo Santos hasn't shown the leg necessarily, so I was once again like, oh, down and out on Cairo Santos. Well, he showed up in a big way yesterday, consistently hitting field goals. He barely snuck in that one that was from 50-plus. It barely gets over the crossbar. But also the tackle he made on special teams, too. He hit Josh Jacobs, who then fumbled because it was popped out. Cairo Santos might have saved the game yesterday. Because if he doesn't hit Josh Jacobs on that kick return, Josh Jacobs might be going to the end zone and not fumbling and making a big play. The special teams was huge. And then the offense. Chicago, you have your quarterback. Caleb has the clutch gene. That was on that 4th and 10, the play to Rome Odunze. Nobody makes that play. As Chris Collinsworth would say, nobody makes that play except for Patrick Mahomes. Well, Caleb Williams made that play. He had 2 feet off the ground. He just floats it up, and Rome Odunze makes the catch. Colston Loveland is clearly a dude. Clearly. And the offense had 31 points after a slow start. 28 points for the offense in the second half. They came up clutch. That is a clutch offense. And today's a celebration, Bears fan. So once again, get in on the conversation. 312-332-3776. And I want to talk about Bears fans yesterday, too. The emotion in that building was wild, and you could feel the ups and downs from that game. I felt the ups and downs from that game. I turned to my sister at one point who I was at the game with, and I think I said to her, my nerves are so great right now. This was in the fourth quarter. I felt like I was going to throw up because I was like, oh my gosh, I can feel this in the pit of my stomach. The emotions from this game, the ups and downs that it was taking me. And for a large part of that first half, it was down. But in the second half, the comeback cardiac Bears really got our hearts pumping and came back in that game. I also turned to her and said, and texted my friends as well, I think no matter how this game ends, I'm going to cry. I didn't. I'm not a big happy crier. Maybe you are out there. Let's hear your stories from the game, 312-332-3776. I'm not a big happy crier, but that's what it felt like in the moment. Because that's how much this game means to Bears fans. For so long, and Bears fans, you deserve this, for so long, the Packers have taken so much from us. Whether it's a Randall Cobb deep touchdown to take away the division, whether it's an NFC championship game, whether it's Aaron Rodgers making a clutch play at the end, it felt like the Packers just took everything. Well, now the Bears have sent the Packers to the depths of football purgatory. The Packers, right now, Green Bay, in Milwaukee, in Madison, they're going to be having conversations today of whether they should fire their head coach. They're going to be having conversations of whether Jordan Love has that clutch gene because they weren't able to convert on that last 2-minute drive. The Bears don't have those questions right now. They have the quarterback. They have the coach. And everything's going well. Dennis is in Silver Lake, Wisconsin, in enemy territory. What's up, Dennis?
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Dennis Silver Lake, and I wanted to let you know that last night, as I moved to Wisconsin as a Bear fan, I'm surrounded by these Packer people. I had to go out and watch the game, and I said, you know what? my wife and I go, let's go to a Packer bar. So we went there, and as soon as we walked in with my Bear stuff on, we got beat up on right away. But anyway, thoroughly enjoyed the game. And what was amazing to me is I can't understand the special teams, the kicker for the Packers, and how bad, in my opinion, how bad he looked, what he missed. Those were key misses, or that would have been the outcome of the game, as opposed to Santos and how he did in the game.
Yeah, no, Dennis,
So,
you're exactly right, and thank you for the phone call. Dennis, you're exactly right, and I think that's where we have to give credit to Cairo Santos. When the weather's nice and the Bears are going on the road and playing in indoor stadiums and in Las Vegas, it's easy to look at Cairo Santos and say, oh, he can't hit a 57-yarder, so he can't hit a 58-yarder like some of these other kickers can. You have kickers hitting 70-yarders. And you look at him and you say, oh, well, he doesn't provide you much value. Well, in the games in Soldier Field where the wind is shifting a little bit yesterday, and it wasn't horrible weather, but it was just a little bit enough to where it could affect a kicker. And McManus for the Packers, he missed 3 kicks that wound up deciding the game. Cairo Santos didn't miss those kicks. Jared's on his way back to Wisconsin. What's up, Jared?
How's it going, man? I was at the game last night, season ticket holder with my brother. Amazing game. Before the game, I told my buddies it was going to be 31-27 Bears. I called McManus missing 2 field goals and an extra point before the game started, and I hit on all my parlays. I don't know if I have a sixth sense last night or what, but hope the Bears keep it rolling, bear down. Awesome environment. So pumped for the next game.
All right, Jared, we got you down. And, Jared, congrats on those parlays. Yesterday might have been one of the greatest nights in Chicago sports, maybe ever. The Cubs sign Alex Bregman, all-star third baseman, former MVP candidate, to a massive deal for 5 years. The Blackhawks win, the Bulls win, and the Bears beat the Green Bay Packers. This win is so special. I'm going to tell you why and also play you some sound from the locker room yesterday from Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was pumped up. He went after the Packers. You could tell the Bears really wanted this one in the rivalry. And Caleb Williams spoke in the locker room too and proved something to me yesterday. A big question a lot of people had about him in the draft. I'm going to talk about that coming up. Get in on the action, 312-332-3776. Jack McGrath with you from 9 until noon. This is ESPN 1000.
This is Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago.
Guys, this is Courtney Cronin. Let's be honest, most of us aren't great at saying what we feel. That's where jewelry does the talking. And nobody does it better than Rogers & Hollins, family owned since 1910. From engagement rings to stunning jewelry and watches, whether it's a gift that speaks for you or something that elevates your look, they've got it all. Jewelry says it best. Rogers & Hollins makes it last. See the Rogers & Hollins difference at a store near you or go to fornowandforever.com.
Apt, your #1 destination for the home, has everything you need to start your New Year's resolutions. Explore our collection of smartwatches and fitness trackers. Whatever your goal is, you'll be able to track your progress. Create the perfect home gym with our selection of treadmills, ellipticals, and exercise bikes. And don't forget the small kitchen appliances like a juicer or blender for that post-workout protein shake to add in muscle building and recovery. For free local delivery, professional installation, and complete satisfaction, shop where I shop. Apt. ABT.com. Apt, pleasing people since 1936.
Wallner Law helped me get the compensation that I deserve.
Wallner Law helped me get back on my feet.
Thanks to Wallner Law, I'm at a better place today.
Wallner Law cares for you. We're compassionate. We're empathetic to your situation. And I promise you, I will get you more money than any other law firm in the city of Chicago. That is my promise to you. Hire us, win with us, be successful with us. Call us at Wallner Law, 312-8-million.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and the playoffs are finally here. Did you win last week betting the games? My clients went 4-1 again on Sunday. The extra place added 2 more units of profit. We are turning a profit each and every week during the football season. Ready for the hoop season coming up? Now's the time to get signed up. $99 or less will get you into profit at FatJackSports.com. Get signed up today. Win all year long. Get all the plays. FatJackSports.com for less than $99 when you sign up now.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Avatar Fire and Ash has arrived.
I am the fire!
Get your 3D tickets now for the greatest chapter of the biggest saga in history.
Whatever happens, protect this family.
Critics rave it's by far the best Avatar movie.
If your father and I do not return, you go as far and as fast as you can.
Movies don't get any bigger than this. Avatar Fire and Ash, rated PG-13, now playing.
Chicago's home for sports. Now, by your side, through your smart speaker. Just tell it to play ESPN 1000.
This is Chicago's home for sports, ESPN 1000.
Song's making me think a little bit about the Iceman, Caleb Williams, who came up clutch yesterday. He didn't look great in the first half, but he wasn't necessarily missing that many throws. It's just the offense in general couldn't move the ball. It looked like on that one interception he threw in the first half, Luther Burden may have ran the wrong route. It looks like Caleb was going for the post. Burden ran the fade. That was a big factor in last night. Caleb, 24 of 48, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But Chicago, I think we can say after last night, hey, you have your quarterback. He's the guy. He has the clutch gene. I'm confident in him the rest of the way. If he can put that together, what he did in the third and fourth quarter for an entire game, he's going to be elite. He is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And he's already borderline almost there. 312-332-3776. Get in on the action. Talking Bears. If you were at the game last night, I want to hear your stories. I was walking around last night after the game at the stadium, and I was at the game, so apologize if my voice is a little scratchy. I was throughout the entire game, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I can't yell too loud. I can't yell too loud. I have to host a 3-hour show tomorrow. I can't yell too loud. I'm going to ruin my voice. But then in the fourth quarter, it was just like, I got to let it fly, man. Fourth phase is having an immediate impact on this game. I got to go. Walking around the game after the game last night, random strangers were coming up and hugging me. People were giving high fives. I have never seen the building like that before. The chants in the tunnel were electric. People were outside giving each other high fives, yelling from the top of their lungs. People were staying in the stadium much later than when the game ended. And I'm walking to the parking lot last night after the game, walking through. And there's a dad. I'm walking with my dad. I'm walking with my sister, knowing this game's going to be a memory that I take with me for a long, long time, because I think it might have been the best Chicago Bears game I've ever been at and maybe ever seen in general. I mean, they came down from 18 points down, maybe even better than the first Packers game this season, which was a 15-point comeback late in the game. I'm walking behind a dad and what looks like his 2 sons. And he asks them a question. He says, you guys have fun? And they're, of course, like, yes, of course we had fun at this game. And he says, well, you better have, because it doesn't get much better than this. This is the peak right now. This is about, Super Bowl would be a little bit higher when 2 more games get to the Super Bowl. And that's probably a little bit higher than this. But we're pretty close right now. That's about as good of an atmosphere and as good of a game as you can possibly be at. He said, it doesn't get much better than this. And he is exactly right. There are moments and reasons why we watch sports. And yesterday, coming together as a city of Chicago, that game, beating your arch rival for the Chicago Bears, yesterday was one of those reasons we watch sports. Because yesterday was a phenomenal, entertaining game that's bringing the whole city together. And you can feel it in the stadium. You can feel it on the streets. This team is something special, and they continue to impress day after day after day. Matt's on the north side. What's up, Matt?
Yeah, hey, at the game, oh, my God, that was incredible. No one panicked, actually, in the second half. And I like what you say about Caleb. Elite level, whatever level, questions. Is he the guy leading the city? That quarterback, that Drake May situation? No, but that arm, that elite, I think what they drafted him for, which has come out, is that elite arm
100%.
where he can make these incredible throws, going crazy across the sidelines, across the field. His escapability, his ability to avoid injuries, his fitness, it's actually incredible. And I think you're seeing Caleb be the superstar, hopefully, that I think the team has been looking for decades now.
Matt, I'm exactly with you. Thank you for the phone call. I'm exactly with you. Caleb, speaking about the injuries, this is one of the more interesting things I heard from his press conference. They asked him about his ankle because I believe it was in the third quarter. He kind of limped off with a hurt ankle, and they asked him, how's the ankle feeling? And he said, I work on my ankle flexibility so I don't have rolled ankles. I've never heard that before from a quarterback. Maybe I just haven't been listening enough, but Caleb's training, and he's showing that arm talent. That throw to Rome Odunze on 4th and 10, where he just lofts it up in the air, essentially dead to rights, already sacked. That was one of the best throws I have ever seen. And some more on Caleb Williams, too. This is worth listening to the full thing. Ben Johnson gave his good, better, best locker room speech last night, and we usually bring it to you on the post-game show. This got me hyped up. It's worth listening to the whole thing. And listen to Caleb Williams at the end. Johnson will close it out, but Williams is essentially the last person to speak in this audio clip here. Listen to this full thing. Starts with Ben Johnson to Colston Laughlin to Montez Sweat to Caleb Williams. Ben Johnson, his locker room speech after the game.
Hell yeah!
You go into the tournament coming off of 2 losses, man. You go into the tournament off of 2 losses. You look up at halftime in this game, and it's 21-3.
No panic.
No panic. None of it built for pressure. That's you guys. And that's the first one. That's the first one. All right? That's what we had to do. All right? Now I got 3 game balls here. First one, all right, we had 8 catches, 130-plus yards. Give me Colston
We're so thankful, and to be here, and for all you guys, I'm proud of everyone here. But that's we got to keep this thing rolling. Let's enjoy the out of this stuff.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! Good, man. Hey, defense, that a way to step it up there in the second half. Right? That a way to step it up. One guy caught my eye, and it might not show up on the stat sheet, but he was around that quarterback the entire second half. Montez Sweat!
It's just a credit to everybody in this room, bro. I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here without y'all. Love.
Tell you what, man. 4th and 10. 4th and 10. I don't think either one of his feet was on the ground when he threw this ball. Ice. But it's just straight ice. Let's go, 18!
I said last night, you make your money in the regular season, but in the postseason, legacy, your name, everything, and so that's us. That's us. It's not me. I'm not, obviously, game ball or whatever. That's us. Us. I want to keep going. We have to get better. All right. We have to start. We have to be on the details. We have to execute. pin all of that to be able to get where we want to go. And I want to be here. I want to do this with y'all.
Yes, sir.
So it starts tomorrow. Starts the next day.
Let's go, bro.
Hey! 15 years, they said. It's haven't beaten, Green Bay or whatever since whatever, right?
Talk heavy.
Look at this guy right here. First playoff win. Everything he's done for us as a coach, everything the other coaches have done for us. And it started with him, with bringing in everybody and all of that, right? And for me personally, he's been get emotional. For me personally, he's been monumental in my life so far.
Yeah.
And so to his first playoff win as a Chicago Bear. You make sure when you talk to the media, you talk to them how this crowd tonight made a difference. They made a difference, all right? Man, I'm so proud of you guys. To do what you just did, I said it at halftime, right? This is one that you'll never forget.
Yes, sir. This is one you'll never forget, all right? Bring it on in. Bring it on in. Good, better, best! Good, better, best! Never let it rest! Never let it rest! Good gets better! Good gets better! You better get better! You better get better! Bears on 3, 1, 2, 3! Bears!
All right, so that gets you pumped up, the good, better, best at the end. But the point I want to make out of that is Caleb Williams giving the game ball to Ben Johnson. Now, Ben Johnson, as Bears fans, they're winning games. They're emotionally charging the city. He's meant a lot to all of us as Bears fans. But Caleb Williams stepping up, making that speech, saying this isn't done. We had mistakes. We want to clean them up. We're ready for the next game. That guy's a leader, and he's turning into a winner. He's continuing to come up in clutch moments. He's continuing to show flashes of greatness. That proved to me right there any questions about his leadership that people had pre-draft process, that people had last season, they should be non-existent after this year. The team is rallying behind him. You can hear them in the background after that. The team is rallying behind Ben Johnson. And you have everything you could possibly want in a quarterback in Caleb Williams at this very moment. He's composed under pressure. He's clutch. He has the arm talent. The reads are getting there. They're close to being right there at the top. And now he's showing that he has that leadership quality too, or at least he's building that. And that tells me that he's on the way to greatness, and so are the Bears. Jason McKee was the first person to talk to Caleb Williams before any other media member after the game. He's going to join us next to break down the game. He was on the sideline, former Bear in the 2000s, went to a Super Bowl in 2006. I want to ask him, is this a team that has that feeling that they can go all the way to the Super Bowl? The rest of the rundown, a lot of your favorites are coming on today. 10:30, Tom Waddle's going to join us. 11 a.m., Courtney Cronin's going to break down the game. We'll talk to David Kaplan, Cap, at 11:30 as well to break down everything about the game. Bears beat the Packers 31-27 in a huge comeback last night. We'll talk to J-Mac in a couple of minutes.
This is Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago.
Traffic got you down. Let the CTA be your driver. Get into the city and back fast and stress-free. Avoid the hassle of stop-and-go traffic, spending money on gas, or those unexpected costs for car repair. $5 covers your trip and back on the CTA.
Just sit back, we'll do the driving.
Tap to Pay is also available on all CTA trains and buses. Save money, do more, ride CTA.
Let Triton College help you spring into success. Choose from 120 degree and certificate programs. Triton has convenient classes close to home, affordable tuition, and credits transferable to four-year schools. At Triton, you'll learn from award-winning faculty with real-world experience, giving you a quality education that opens doors to your future. Affordable, quality, close to home, that's Triton College. Register now and spring into success. Visit triton.edu/spring.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The New Year's sales event is going on at all 12 Hawk Auto locations in Forest Park, St. Charles, Plainfield, Joliet, Carroll Stream, and now LaSalle, Peru. Shop thousands of vehicles from 13 brands and save with 0% financing for 60 months or make no payments for 90 days. Plus, save even more with $500 to $2,000 bonus cash. Find your next car at hawkauto.com and drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk.
HawkAuto.com.
Financing on select models with approved credit.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
And a bunch sent to the left side numbers. Snap back, 4-man rush. Caleb with a double move. Throw down the left side like DJ Moore inside the 5. End zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Bears. They've taken the lead on the Packers with 1:43 to go. 25 yards. The same connection. Week 16. A walk-off win. This connection. A 3-point lead. Wow.
Wow was right. Bears win 31-27 over the Packers last night in an absolutely thrilling game, one where the Bears trailed by 18 points headed into the second half. This is a stat from Doug Clawson of CBS Sports. The Bears are 3-3 when down 10 points in the final 5 minutes of the game. 3-3 when down 10 or more points in the final 5 minutes of the game. Think about that for a second. The rest of the NFL also combined has 3 wins. They are 3-158 in games where a team trails by 10 or more points in the final 5 minutes of the game this season. An absolute ridiculous stat. We bring in Jason McKee, part of our broadcast crew, on the Yingling guest hotline here. J-Mac, have you ever seen anything like this with a team?
I mean, I've never seen nothing like it. I mean, I still, you know, as many times as they have came back this year, I'm still in shock at what they did last night. I mean, you're down 18 at the half, and just a belief in the resiliency of this team is just, I mean, you can't say enough about the way the guys battle, the belief in the coaches, but the belief in you know, that Ben Johnson and that coaching staff has instilled in these guys, right? He's renewed their mindset in having these guys believe that they can do anything. And they've shown that time and time again this year, and on no bigger stage than last night in front of a national audience. So it was awesome.
You were the first person to talk to Caleb Williams before any media member last night after the game. I noticed he seemed especially, maybe this is just the camera angles we got, but rewatching the game last night, I noticed that he seemed especially emotional on the sideline last night. Is that something you noticed, and how did that play into the game?
Yeah, I did. You know, there was one series he came off the field, and, you know, normally he goes over and sits on the bench with quarterback coach J.T. Barrett, and he's even keel, you know what I mean? His demeanor doesn't really change. But last night he came off and he was fired up, and it was in a positive way. He was trying to galvanize his teammates, talking to everybody, talking to the receivers, talking to the offensive line, trying to galvanize his guys, instill belief in them that, hey, we can go out and execute one play at a time, and that's what they did. And that was a message from Ben Johnson. I asked him at halftime, I said, what do you have to do to get back in this game? And he said one play at a time. And that's football. When things aren't going your way, when you're not executing at a high level, all you can do is focus on the little things, and that's executing one play at a time. And that's what they did, and that led to a victory.
I was especially impressed yesterday in the good, better, best locker room speech by Caleb Williams in that. Giving the game ball to Ben Johnson, refocusing his team on the next week, acknowledging the good, but also acknowledging that there's still places where the team can get better. To me, he's more confident talking to the media, and that could just be because the team's good, but I also think it's because he's maturing and developing as a quarterback. How have you seen him grow as a leader of this football team?
Yeah, I think he's definitely more confident. You can see it. And not that he wasn't a confident person before that, but player before that, based upon what he did in college, had success. He's been a guy that he's confident, but I think he's been more vocal in terms of, having that, being able to galvanize his teammates and being vocal and not afraid to, stand up at that podium when things go wrong and accept the blame. And that's what you want from a franchise quarterback. That's what you want from a leader, right? When things are good, everybody's, singing praises, everybody's kumbaya, and everybody's good, better, besting. But, hey, when things are bad, are you a guy that can sit there and put the criticism, on your chest and really galvanize, your guys around you to kind of right your wrongs? And that's where I've seen his maturity and development, take the biggest jump from last year to this year.
Talking to Jason McKee on the Yingling guest hotline. Jason was on the sideline for yesterday's Bears-Packers game. He's part of our broadcast crew every single week. And J-Mac, I noticed some of your old teammates, Brian Urlacher, Devin Hester, on the sideline of last night's game as well. And Devin Duvernay had a Devin Hester-like moment with his 40-yard kick return that I think galvanized the team a little bit. Special teams played really well. What did you see from them? And what can a big special teams play? Because you had plenty of them back in your day with Hester running back. What can that do for a team and energizing them and getting the offense ready to go?
They've been special all year. And, from a coaching point, you want your special teams to be exactly what it says, right? You want it to be special. And look at the amount of big plays this special teams unit has made during critical moments in the game, right? You can go all the way back to the Las Vegas game. You get the block kick that led to a win, right? You go back to Minnesota, you get another big return by Duvernay that helped the comeback in that win. And then you can also go back to, hey, let's get the onside kick in the second game at Green Bay. So, I mean, it's just good. Like, I'm telling you, the belief has permeated that locker room. Each individual in that building, has a sense of we can accomplish anything. We can beat anybody, regardless of what the score is, regardless of how much time. As long as there's times on the clock, we can come back and get a victory. So it was, and I'll be honest, like a lot of my teammates was in the building, and I'll be honest, I was one of the guys. I was in doubt. I was like, oh man, what?
I think we all were.
It's been a nice storybook ending, and I said, man, we had some nice stories, but this might be the end of the road, and they continue to prove everybody wrong.
The Bears' defense in the second half was phenomenal. They held Green Bay to 6 points, and in the first half, they looked like Swiss cheese. There were so many holes. Jordan Love was throwing all over the place. Josh Jacobs was running all over the place. In this game, though, Jacobs finished under 3 yards per carry. Love still finished with 323 yards, but when there was pressure on him, he really wasn't able to do much. Was there some type of mojo swing in that second half that you noticed on the sideline, or what did the Bears do differently? Because Johnson said in his press conference he didn't think there was necessarily a schematic change.
Yeah, and that's it. It's a good point you bring up, too, because we saw this defense the first half. It was Swiss cheese. Green Bay was able to do whatever they wanted easily. And I just feel like the guys started playing with more emotion. I felt like they started executing better. They started tackling better. They were able to start getting pressure on Jordan Love. I think Dennis Allen, he started utilizing more stunts instead of relying on guys to win one-on-ones. He tried to create confusion with that offensive line with those stunts and twists. And you saw Jordan Love get rattled. And I credit the secondary as well, right? You have a secondary that's been maligned all year, and especially Kyler Gordon coming back, and we can see even the last drive and throughout the game, whenever Jordan Love wanted to play, right, and it was man-to-man coverage, who did he go at? Well, he went at Kyler Gordon because, it's evident to me, from my view, it looked like Kyler is still not 100%, but he laid it on the line because he knew his team needed him. And, the defense, like we've talked about all year, they bent, but they didn't break. And that's exactly what you needed in the second half. And we got to give them a lot of credit because they're a big part of this win that happened last night.
Did you ever have any – you're a coach as well, so maybe you've given some too. Talking to Jason McKee, former Chicago Bear, was on the sideline of last night's game. Are there – we see in movies and things like that, these big – halftime speeches that fire up a team at halftime, and it kind of seemed like that may have happened for the Bears yesterday. Is that something that's realistic? Is that something that's actually happening in locker rooms, the big coach's speech at halftime to get everybody fired up?
Oh, without a doubt. Every coach is, different and has a way of doing things. Some coaches are more even-keeled, and they may not, use choice words at halftime. And other coaches, they're fiery at halftime, and the great coaches, from what I've learned from playing under a lot of great coaches, the great coaches know how to motivate their team, right, as a whole, but they also know how to get the most out of each individual player, and they know how to coach each individual player because they understand that player as a person and not just, a football player. And that's how you get the most out of your guys. And, to a man, to all the way down from the head coach to the position coaches, these guys know how to get the most out of their players, and we've seen the evidence of it, right? You've seen guys go down. You've seen starters go down, and what happens? You see a backup or a guy who's, wasn't initially thought of being counted on prior to the season. He comes in and makes plays, right? And that's a testament to this coaching staff of being able to get guys ready, right? Making sure that guys are being developed, but also making sure that that backup is getting ready and prepared like a starter because his number is going to be called at one point in time during the season. And we've seen that time and time again. And the results is, hey, you got a Bears team that has, suffered injuries, but they haven't let it been the downfall of their season, and that's why they're moving on in the playoffs.
And, Jason, you bring that up, and it makes me think about Caleb Williams. I think it was after the last Packers game when he was asked about Ben Johnson in his post-game press conference, and he said straight up, we have the best coaching staff in the world. They care about us as people, and I feel like that's something that's connected to Caleb Williams as well and why he feels so connected and gets so emotional when talking about Ben Johnson as a coach. Yeah,
and you also heard Caleb, right? Caleb said, I think it was a couple weeks ago during his press conference, he said, hey, you know what? I felt like, Coach Johnson didn't like me at first.
Yeah, yep.
But the thing is, right, the coaches who love you the most, they're going to coach you hard, right, because they want to get the most out of you, right? And I know Coach Johnson, part of the reason him deciding to come here is because he's seen what he had at quarterback, right? He saw the potential in Caleb, right? But here's one thing from a coaching point, right? Potential will get you beat, right? Potential is one thing, but this is a results-based business. So, hey, that quarterback or this team could have all the potential in the world. But if they don't live up to that potential, right, and they don't come out with wins and they don't yield positive results, well, guess what? You're going to be replaced. So, it's awesome to see that your best player has to be your hardest-working player, and your best player has to be coached just as hard as every other player on that roster. And that's exactly what this coaching staff does.
I think you're exactly right. Last question I got for you here about the schematics of the game. I noticed a lot of Zacchaeus and Moore and even Burden in the backfield last night coming out of that fullback spot or out of that running back spot. There was even a handoff to DJ Moore. It got absolutely stuffed. What does that do against a defense? I know it can create some mismatches and things like that. How does that mix up a defense? Because you were a fullback yourself.
Yeah, it does, especially when you have a defense that's playing man coverage. So normally, if you're in the backfield, right, that linebacker will have that back in the backfield, right, and they will count him as number 3 based upon how many receivers is to that side. And normally, when that running back's in the backfield, if there's 2 receivers to a side and then a running back on the same side of those two receivers, right, he's designated as a number 3, right, and the linebackers have that number 3 option coming out of the backfield. So what does that do, right? it puts a linebacker on a running back who is now a receiver because Ben Johnson does a great job of switching up his personnel groupings and utilizing all the players' abilities on the field to make plays. So that's what it can create. And then also, having those guys start in the backfield, motioning them out of the backfield, right, and then motioning them back into the backfield, what does that do, right? It helps give Caleb in this offense a tell of what type of coverage it is, right? If you have a linebacker or a safety come down and follow that motion out of the backfield, well, guess what? It's man coverage. But if they don't move, then what is it? It's zone coverage. So there's it was a huge chess match going on, and it was awesome to see, especially, two head coaches that have a crazy dislike for each other. So it was, the Bears fans had a treat, man.
Do you have any insight on why that is? I know they're competitors and they go against each other, and maybe it's just a rivalry because they're two offensive minds who are competing against one another. But those handshakes are cold. Johnson essentially was yelling in LaFleur's face and brushed him off yesterday.
Man, I've been thinking about that myself. I'm like, man, like, what happened? What happened? These guys, all the way from his very first press conference, we heard what he said, right? LaFleur doesn't like him. We heard what Ben Johnson said about him. It's going to be a good ride. I don't know what, LaFleur's job status is, and I don't want to speculate anything, but hey, that's what a rivalry is. And even in the locker room, right? You hear Ben Johnson when he's with the team. What did he say? He says, F Green Bay. Yep. I hate those guys. But here's the funny thing. So when I'm getting ready to interview Caleb in Coach Johnson's locker, his locker room is right there on the side of the media room before he goes and meets the press, right? So I'm getting ready to interview Caleb. All the guys are walking, they're in the locker room doing their thing. And Coach Johnson goes in his locker room, his locker or whatever, his space, and all I hear is, F Green Bay. This dude is fiery. And he's a coach's coach. He's a player's coach. He's one of the guys. He's a young coach. He's 39, but, he wears his emotions on his sleeve. He's going to let you know how he feels, and I respect that 100%. Like, we see him on the sideline. He's stone-faced throughout the game. He rarely shows emotion, but last night he was emotional. He was fired up, and that got me fired up. When I heard him say F Green Bay when he went in his own personal
Was he alone
space,
when he did that?
He was alone, and he went. So right before they interviewed Coach Jeff Jonig and Tom Thayer in his personal space, his personal locker. He goes in there. You can hear a loud yell, F Green Bay, and I'm like, oh man, Coach is fired up. That's awesome.
So that's not for sure. He really does, because he's probably thinking he's in his private space with nobody listening. That's some great insight, J-Mac. I appreciate it. We got to go to a break, which I hate because I want to keep talking to you, but we got to move the show along. So, J-Mac, is there anything I didn't ask you that you think I should know before I let you go?
Oh, man, just enjoy this victory. It's been sweet. We got another playoff game, and we'll see who we're playing. I appreciate the time, and bear down.
All right, bear down, J-Mac. That's Jason McKee on the Yingling Guest Hotline. He was on the sideline of yesterday's game. And Bears fans, did you ever give up hope last night? Because there were some fans, I think, that were probably feeling dejected. Like, oh, the Packers have us again. I was feeling a little dejected. I'm standing with Shea Norling and Charlie Bevins at halftime of the game and Tyler Rocky, because Tyler said we had to have an emergency meeting to figure out how to fix this Bears game. And Shea goes, Jack, can you give me a good, better, best? And I was almost like, I will. I'll try to. And I gave him good, better, best. But I just couldn't get it going because I was so sad that they were down 21-3. But there were a lot of Bears fans that still had hope at that point. 312-332-3776 is the number. Did you ever give up hope last night? And if you did, when did you start getting it back? That's all that and more. We're on until noon. Talking Bears. Jack McGrath with you on ESPN 1000.
This is ESPN Chicago, Chicago's home for sports.
Better get better, best, blah, blah. Back in my glory days, I always showed up ready to perform, whether it was on the field or off of it. Confidence, energy, swagger. I had it all. And yeah, even little Johnny was playing like an all-pro. Now, thanks to Blue Chew, those days don't have to stay in the past. Blue Chew's chewable tablets give you that extra boost of confidence when it matters most. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like someone gave you a pep talk right where you need it. And here's the best part. It's all online. No awkward doctor visits. No standing in line at the pharmacy. Their licensed medical providers help you find the right fit, and it ships right to your door in a discreet package. Made in the USA, less expensive than the pharmacy. So, fellas, when it's your time to perform, don't just hope for the glory days. Bring them back. Head to BlueChew.com. Use promo code ESPN, and your first month is free. Just pay $5 for shipping. Blue Chew. Chew it and do it.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So when it comes to hard work, nothing works harder than a Chevy Silverado. On the road or off-road, Silverado is built for tough performance in any condition. Rain or snow, mud or ice, we run over it. That's why Chevy Silverado is the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears. Hard-working and dependable. Together, we are one team. We're on a mission to win. Check out the full line of Silverados at Chevy Drive Chicago. Now more than ever, it's all about drive. Guests appearing live on ESPN Chicago. Call in on the Yuengling Beer Hotline. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, brings the excitement with traditional lager, light lager, golden pilsner, black and tan, and flight. Chicago, raise a Yuengling and enjoy the full lineup.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNChicagoContests.com.
That's ESPNChicagoContests.com.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 369-369 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 369-369. That's HIM to 369-369. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
See? Chicago's home for sports. We're on YouTube, live and on demand content. Follow us at ESPN 1000 Chicago.
Like, what a blessing to be here for me and my family. So I appreciate that, and we are not going to be done. So I will see you guys next week.
That's Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. How'd that game plan work, Jeff, in the second half of the game? Not as well. It did work in the first half. I'll give him that. And his game plan worked, and I think some Bears fans, the stadium was quiet, were a little shell-shocked by the way that game started. But the way that the Bears just continue to come back in games, you could kind of sense it a little bit in the stadium last night. And apologies if my voice is a little scratchy, because I was in the stadium last night. I was trying to save the voice, but at the end of that game, just had to go absolutely crazy. It felt in the stadium that at points, it got a little quiet, but there were a lot of Bears fans who still had hope. And that's because of the comebacks that the Bears had earlier in the season. I heard somebody say, we did this to Green Bay before, we'll do it again. I don't think the Bears win last night's game if they don't win the game against the Packers earlier in the season. Because the game against the Packers earlier in the season proved to the team that the impossible is possible with this group of players. And I 100% believe that, because you look at all the win probability graphs and the way they've come back this year. They've come back against the Bengals. They've come back against the Packers. They've come back twice against the Packers now. They continue to come back in all of these big games. There's no reason not to have hope. We're going to get to all your phone calls coming up here. Bears fans, this is your show. We've been waiting for so long for this, so hold on the phone lines. We'll get to you next, 312-332-3776. And I want to make a quick point, too. It's not often that an all-star third baseman who has gotten MVP votes in recent years signs with one of our baseball teams and it becomes the immediate side story? Well, that's today, because during the Bears game last night, All-Star third baseman Alex Bregman agreed to a 5-year, $175 million deal with the Cubs. I don't know what that means for the roster. Is Matt Shaw still going to be moved? Maybe for a right fielder or a left fielder or a right fielder, because they need a right fielder now without Casey. And for maybe some starting pitching. Is Nico Horner going to be moved? I hope not. I love Nico Horner. I thought he was one of the most valuable players on the team last year. John Heyman's also reporting that some of that is going to be deferred money as well for Alex Bregman. So that's your update on the Cubs. They have an all-star third baseman. We're going to talk more about the Bears coming up. Did you ever give up hope last night? And if you did, what made you start believing again? 312-332-3776. Jack McGrath talking Bears with you until noon.
ESPN Chicago on FM 100.3 HD2, the ESPN Chicago app, and ESPN 1000.
Getting health insurance that fits your budget isn't easy.
At Get Covered Illinois, we are here to help.
We are the state's official health insurance marketplace.
A place where health insurers compete for your business. A website where you can compare multiple health plans and pricing in one place.
And where you can connect to financial help and free in-person assistance.
Because you deserve insurance. GetCoveredIllinois.gov. We're here to help.
Hey golfers, it's Tyler. It may be winter in Chicago, but golf season will be here before you know it. And if you want to be ready when the weather turns, you've got to plan now. That's where Golf on Any Tee or the GOAT app comes in. GOAT is a golf membership that gets you unlimited golf all year long at 20 courses across Chicagoland. No greens fees, no cart fees, just unlimited golf. Sign up now and book a tee time for the first day courses open. Visit golfonanytee.com or download the GOAT app today and golf like me, golf on any tee.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you're the unwitting victim in a calamitous mishap, anticipate compensatory damages, subrogation relief, or tort claims under...
Guys, what are they even saying?
Coast Ivoni ads don't sound like that.
Lawyers like that are exactly why people call us. No legal mumbo-jumbo, just real talk.
We're from Chicago. We talk like you, we fight for you, and we have real conversations so we can help you.
They get where you come from, they get what you need, and they get you. Coast Ivoni, your local personal injury lawyers, because they are Chicago. 708-4million.
Follow Chicago's Home for Sports on Instagram at ESPN_Chicago. This is ESPN 1000.
To the left side, Loveland come back now, motions to the right boundary. Snap back, pocket holds, over the middle, catching the two, into the end zone. Olamide Zaccheaus, touchdown Bears!
Zaccheaus with the touchdown grab there. Bears come back to beat the Packers 31-27 in an absolutely epic game last night. Bears were down 18 points at halftime, outscored Green Bay 28-6 in the second half. Come all the way back and win the game. And Bears fans, this one's for you. We have been waiting so long for this victory to absolutely knock out the Green Bay Packers, send them to football purgatory, have them asking questions about firing their head coach. Do they have the right quarterback who can come up in clutch time? Well, right now, I think we can say the Bears have the right coach, and they have the quarterback who can come up in clutch time. The question is, did you ever give up hope last night? And if not, what made you start believing? James is on the south side. What's up, James?
Hey, how's it going? Hey, you know what? I got a little sad and just a little bit dejected. So at halftime, I told my old lady she got to get out the room. I went and got a pack of cigarettes. I came back and I dug in, and I just watched every last second when they started moving the ball in the third quarter and started to stop them. I knew then. I'm like, you know what? It's just going down to the wire, baby, and we're going to come out victorious because they're not built like we are, and we are hungrier than they are. They just need to see it. And Dennis Allen, he made those adjustments, and I was so elated. Ben never wavered. He stood to his guns. If he was going to go on fourth, he stuck to his guns. He didn't care about what anybody had to say. And, man, the house erupted. I had to tell my old lady, you can come back in. We won. Come on. Let's go.
Thanks for the call, Jay. Thanks for the call.
She can be down sometimes, so I don't need no negative energy around me.
You need the positive. I like it. And his fans were positive last night, as they should be, because of the comebacks that this team has had all season long. And James, thank you for the phone call. The other point to that is the way this team continues to come back is they've shown in clutch time they are going to be the more composed team because they've been there, done that. The Packers tried to give the Bears the game yesterday, whether it's throwing to an offensive lineman on a screen pass essentially in the flat and having him run down the field, and he obviously fumbled on the play. The Bears weren't able to recover the fumble. Christian Watson fumbled going into the end zone because instead of lowering his shoulder, he tries to hurdle a guy. The Bears could have recovered that fumble as well. Josh Jacobs fumbled on a kickoff return being tackled by the kicker. The Packers tried to give the Bears that game. And the Bears, even though they won yesterday, they did it while being unlucky in the game. They didn't convert on that 4th and 2 play that a lot of times they're going to have because Drew Dahlman whiffed on a block at the wrong time. They didn't recover any of the 3 fumbles that the Packers put on the ground. Frankly, I thought Cole Kmet turning upfield on that 4th down play, that looked like a catch to me. He turns upfield. What's a football move? And he's called as not fumbling, even though Odunze recovered it and would have been a first down for the Bears. Instead, it's ruled an incomplete catch. I thought the Bears got burnt by some calls yesterday. Nashawn Wright went up for an interception and it clearly was being interfered with by Jaden Reed. But no, the Bears didn't have any of that. They were unlucky last night and still found a way to win the game because they are clutch and they continue to show composure in every single one of these moments. Justin is in Arlington Heights. What's up, Justin?
What's up? I just want to say I did lose hope, and I was very surprised that they were able to come back, and I was going through my house like crazy and screaming, and I'm just very happy that they won, and Caleb Williams did help them get hope, so yeah.
Caleb Williams gives you hope. He's a clutch quarterback. Thank you for the call, Justin. He gives you hope. That's what an elite quarterback does, and that's something we have never had here. An elite quarterback gives you hope. In 85, it was the defense. The defense gave you hope. And in Walter Payton, too. And the offense wasn't too bad either. But in 85, it was the defense. In 2018, it was the defense. The defense gave you hope because they were able to go make big pick sixes and turn the game. You felt like even when the other team had the ball, they could turn the game around. This year, it's Caleb Williams and the offense that gives you hope in every single game, because he has the clutch gene, and he continues to go out and win these games. Nick is in Michigan City. What's up, Nick?
Hey, it comes down to Ben Johnson. Yeah, they got the clutch gene and all this, but it comes down to the play calling. Ben Johnson is the hero in this one. They're all legit, but man, it's amazing to be a Bears fan. Listen.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate the phone call. Frankly, I thought Johnson got out-coached in the first half. In the second half, he turned it up a notch and out-coached Matt LaFleur. But in the first half, he made his 4th down decisions, which generally I agree with. The defense wasn't stopping anybody, so in your own territory, 4th and 2, I'm okay going for it there. I thought the play calling was a little too cute at times. I mean, there was a play when your 2 receivers on the field were Devin Duvernay and Luther Burden. There were plays where Zacchaeus was in instead of DJ Moore. Those didn't make sense, and I know maybe you're getting more a breather or something, but the offense wasn't on the field enough for that. I didn't love the first half play calling, and I think that showed in the scoreboard. The Bears weren't moving the ball particularly well. I thought in the first half, He didn't coach great. But in the second half, he stayed composed. He stuck with his game plan, and he connects with the guys. And he has them believing in themselves. And that's what's extremely important. Let's go to Dave in Northbrook. What's up, Dave?
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. I apologize for my voice. I was at the game yesterday screaming my lungs out. So you're asking, did I lose faith? Listen, I'm 57. I'm going to be 57 years old this year. I've seen in my lifetime the best and the greatest Bears football in the world. But I've also seen, a ton of heartbreak. And I got a 29-year-old son who I unfortunately made just like me a crazy Bears fan. And he's with me at the game with these two kids next to me who are probably his age too. And, they're keeping the faith. They're screaming. And I keep saying, guys, you're so young. You got to learn to live with disappointment as a Bears fan. And these two kids next to me, they ripped off their shirts in the fourth quarter, and they kept saying to me, you got to take your shirt off. If you take your shirt off, we're going to win. And about 4 minutes to go, right before they threw the shot, the DJ did something incredibly out of character. I think I lost my head for a second. I ripped off all my clothes. I took my shirt off.
All your clothes or just the shirt?
So, well, not my pants.
All right, thank goodness. My goodness.
But just no. I'm not that crazy. But I lost my mind. And at the end, the best thing about this was with my 15-year-old nephew, who's seen nothing but awful Bears his entire life. Mm-hmm. That poor kid had tears in his eyes. So this was more than a game to some of us, and I think I speak for a lot of Bears fans out there. Don't take your shirt off at the game, folks. It's not a pleasant experience. But
no. Dave, what section were you in?
I just lost my head. It was awesome, and I can't be more happy. And I'm going to be back out there doing the same dumb things next week.
Dave, what section were you in?
Section 130, row 1, right in the south.
Row 1,
the other side.
Okay, so I saw in the same section as you, but it was a few rows up, like row 12, 13. There was a guy who took off his shirt mid-game and doing the same thing as you, I think. But then he looked around, realized it was too cold, and put his shirt immediately back on. It was like he had it off for 2 minutes. He's like, no, this is too cold. And he put it immediately back on. So I respect you for taking the shirt off and sticking with it and leading the Bears to victory. Thanks for the call, Dave.
Jack, you mentioned the fans.
Yes.
And I have to say, you were at the game, so you might not know this, but shout out to whoever. And they kept showing him multiple times on the Prime broadcast. There was a guy who brought in both a metal cheese grater and actual cheese and just kept going at it during the game.
That's phenomenal. Did you see Caleb Williams after the game with the cheese grater as well? I mean, absolutely ridiculous. And to Dave's point about the 15-year-old fans, and I said it earlier in the show, I'm walking out of the game, and there's a dad with maybe his two 12-year-old kids or two 12-year-old kids. I'm assuming his sons or his son and a friend or something like that. And he says to them, enjoy this moment because this is about the peak of what it is. And this being more than a game to Bears fans, this is the type of sports moment you live for. When the city can come together and just bond over a victory over the most hated rival. This is what we have been waiting for as Chicago fans. This is the arrival of something different. Something special. And we've been waiting for it for so long and officially defeating the big bad team up north that has had our number for the last 2 decades plus. That's the turning point that the Chicago Bears needed. It's official. This is a watershed moment. There's no going back now. The Bears have taken down the Packers. This is it. This is the moment. We'll stick on the phone line. 312-332-3776. Sal's in Elmwood Park.
Hey, brother. Thank you for taking my call. I just want to say this is why I love Ben Johnson, because he hates Matt LaFleur. And just like Lovey said, when he first got hired, his job was to beat Green Bay twice. That's exactly what Ben Johnson did, and I love him for that. Also, Caleb is the second coming of Michael Jordan, regardless of how anybody feels. And I hope Governor Pritzker gives us a stadium now after we dethrone Green Bay. And from here on out, it's going to be great, and I hope we win Super Bowl.
Michael Jordan's a big leap. Thank you for the call, Sal. I mean, he's the best basketball player of all time. He's 6 championships to this city. It's going to be tough to overtake, But Caleb right now is the biggest star in Chicago sports, and it's not particularly close. We had discussions over Cubs season. Is it PCA? Well, Caleb hadn't broken out yet. Caleb's officially broken out. He's an elite quarterback in this city, and an elite quarterback in this city, I mean, he is going to be the superstar nationally. He's going to be a superstar locally. I don't know that he gets... Jordan was international. Jordan is otherworldly. But Caleb has the chance to be the biggest star in this city for a long, long, long time. Owen's in Dallas. What's up, Owen?
Hey, it's Owen from Dallas. So I'm 17. My sister's 15. My brother's 12.
Yep.
This is far and away the best Bears team any of us have ever seen.
Yeah.
And it might be offensively, it might be the best Bears team my father, who's like almost 50 now, he's old, has ever seen.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think you're 100% right offensively. I'm trying to think, like, the 2010-11 Cutler team was pretty good offensively, but it doesn't compare to what this team is. Thanks for the call, Owen. They're right there with every single other team in Bears history offensively. And last night, Owen's on the screener, it said that last night might have been one of the best nights in Chicago sports history. And I go back, and I'm trying to think of all the biggest Bears games in Bears history. And clearly the Super Bowl in 85 is bigger. Biggest wins. Let's say biggest wins in Bears history. The 85 Super Bowl is clearly the biggest. I'd say the NFC Championship game in 85, clearly the biggest. NFC Championship game in 06, bigger than this game. Bigger win than this game. Other than that, name me a bigger win than last night. Arriving, beating the Packers, beating them twice in a season, taking the North, winning the division in a playoff game, and energizing the city with another comeback win. This feels different. And once we see how far this team goes in the playoffs, we'll be able to look at it with a little more context in terms of how big this win truly is. But right there, for me, right now, this is a top 5 win in Bears history. Top 5 most important. One of the most entertaining as well. This one is up there. We're going to talk more about it. We'll stick on the phone line, 312-332-3776. If you're on hold, we will get to you. This is ESPN Chicago. Jack McGrath with you till noon.
This is ESPN Chicago, Chicago's home for sports.
It's playoff time, Chicago. Time to bet on the road to the championship on Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports Illinois is sports betting the way it should be. From championship and conference futures to sides, totals, or prop bets for every round, there is simply no better place to bet. Circa Sports offers high app limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and no bet fees ever. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Got to be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Cap. Playoff time is here, and this is when you need to be locked in. But if you're not sleeping well or you can't breathe, good luck focusing on anything, let alone the playoffs. That's where my great friends at Sinus and Snoring MD come in. Breathe better and sleep better with in-office treatments and same-day appointments. Now's the time to take care of yourself and start 2026 feeling your best. Call 847-545-0147 or visit sinusandsnoringmd.com and get ready for a better night's sleep. That is sinusandsnoringmd.com.
The game is on the line. You need your best play. What's it gonna be? Do you make the call for welding or HVAC? Do it now and you could complete your education at ETI School of Skilled Trades in as little as 7 months. We offer day and evening classes to fit your schedule, and financial aid is available if you qualify. Visit eticampus.edu or call 888-830-7678 to learn more. ETI, it's your future, own it.
Hey guys, Yurko here for Mitch Lyons Wealth. Mitch is a former Pro Bowl player like me, but now he's a retirement pro, and he knows the value of a winning game plan. I want you to get Mitch's retirement toolkit for the Yurko special price of, wait for it, nada. That's right, it's free. This kit includes his book, Retirement of Steel, along with guides for Social Security, taxes, and more. Call 844-867-8335. That's 844-86-STEEL for your retirement toolkit. Mitch Lyons Wealth, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Smalls here. Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your six figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year 1 needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, they've seen it all. And they're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same day funding. That's right, pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
It's okay if you missed your favorite show. Podcasts are ready. The all-new ESPN Chicago app is here.
This is Chicago's home for sports. This is ESPN 1000.
If I had my pick, for any team, it would have definitely been the Bears. I want my get back for sure. We get a chance to put the Bears season to bed. I mean, that means a lot to us for sure.
I'm not a fan of Keyshawn Nixon. That was Keyshawn Nixon before the Bears game. Well, we showed him put his team out to pasture. Yeah. Wanted the Bears. Okay. Keyshawn Nixon, if you remember when DJ Moore took that hit in the last Bears game, the one that was out of the play and looked a little bit, dare I say, dirty, that was Keyshawn Nixon as well. He got burnt on that play by DJ Moore later in the game, too. So, might be my least favorite Green Bay Packer right now. But the Bears go in to Soldier Field and come back against the Green Bay Packers down 18, and the Cardiac Bears strike again. So many emotions in that game yesterday. And Bears fans, this one was for you. Because the Green Bay Packers for so long have taken so much from the Chicago Bears. But this is the moment, this is the line where we don't go back, where the Bears don't go back. Ryan Poles said the Bears are going to take the North and never give it back. I don't know if they're never going to give it back. But for now, at least right now, they own the NFC North. And they proved that again last night. There was a lot of questions. Would this be a successful season if the Bears didn't win this game? Well, now we can say for sure, this has been at the minimum a successful season. It's gravy on top now, but the players in that locker room don't think that. You can hear it in the locker room. You can hear it in the press conferences. This is a team that has the belief they can go all the way. Just a quick stat for you from Fox Sports. The Bears have 7 comeback wins in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter and overtime this season. That's the most in a single season all time. Regular season and playoffs combined. These are the comeback Bears. You can never give up hope with this team, even if we might have last night as fans.
I've got to say, at halftime, everyone calling in, you lost hope. Yeah, it's normal to. But when you look at it, all things considered, how this season's gone, I look at it, all right, you're down 2 or 3 scores. There's 10 minutes on the clock. You did this in Week 16 with under 2 minutes left.
But the Bears couldn't stop anything last night in the first half. And that's where the hope comes in. It's like the Bears aren't going to get a stop in this game. But then they did. The defense was a completely new defense in the second half. You were down 21-3 with the Packers having 3 possessions with full time on the clock, and they scored a touchdown on all 3 of those possessions, and they were getting the ball back after halftime.
As much as pressure has been an issue for this team the entire season, and especially last night in the first half, when Andrew Billings went down, the guy who really stepped up, in my opinion, that I saw actually getting pressure on pretty much every play, when Dominique Robinson came into that game, he played his butt off.
You know what? That entire defensive line, we've been talking about pressure for so long. Montez Sweat played really well last night. He got a game ball. Austin Booker had some huge hits on Jordan Love, and Dom Robb played well as well. Quick correction from the Twitch chat, which is a good correction. When I say this is one of the best wins, most important wins in Bears history, that's modern history, Super Bowl era. They've had plenty of championships in the 40s and before then. So that's modern era that we're talking about here.
Is that the biggest win in your lifetime? Because I think it is in mine.
No, the NFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl in 2006 was bigger.
So I say lifetime. Do you remember that? Do you remember watching that? Right?
Vaguely, but I wasn't old enough for that. No, I could see what you're saying.
Felt special.
It does feel special. Let's hop back on the phone lines because Bears fans, this one's for you. A huge win over the Green Bay Packers. Rudy's in Houston. What's up, Rudy?
Hey, guys. How's it going? I just wanted to say me and my aunt purchased tickets to round 2 because I've only been to 2 football games in my life, and I've never been to Soldier Field. I'm a lifelong fan. I'm 29 years old. We got round 2 tickets a couple days. We manifested the dub. I didn't waver not 1 second. I can't wait to experience Soldier Field. I'm about to be so lit with everybody.
All right, Rudy. Congratulations. Let's go. We'll be excited. It was so much fun at the stadium last night. Bears fans were electric. The stadium was electric, and I expect the same in round 2.
So bad. Yes. Oh, my God.
All right, Rudy. We'll count on it. Thank you for the phone call. George is in Alsip. What's up, George?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Hey, I lost all hope in the first half, but I have a poster of Walter Payton hanging in my room. I had to go touch Sweetness, and I said, please don't let us lose to Green Bay again. And I had the feeling, and in the second half, we came and we proved that we are better than the Packers.
We are good, we are better, we are best, George. I love it. I love it.
Let's go Bears.
Thank you for the phone call, George. Everybody's got their methods, their superstitions. I don't know that this Bears team needs superstitions the way they're playing right now because they have just continued to show that they are clutch and they are composed in the big moments, coming down from an 18-point deficit last night. Let's go to the phone lines again. Brandon's in Arlington Heights. What's up, Brandon?
Hi. Thank you for taking my call. I just want to talk about how the Bears, Caleb kind of was off his game a little bit, missing some of the passes. Then in the second half, he kind of brought it back with complete passes, more yards, and just, less sacks.
Yeah, I figure in the less sacks, Brandon, you make a good point there. Caleb has shown that he knows how to throw the ball away this season, and he knows how to make his quick reads and get the ball out. Thank you for the phone call. That has been the big difference this year, and it's not just the offensive line. It's Caleb, too. He's a lot more prone to throwing the ball away. He's a lot more prone to scrambling. He's still looking downfield. He had a couple of throws, like the Roma Dunze throw yesterday. On 4th and 10, he knew he needed it. He looked like he was done for. I thought for sure he was getting sacked on that play. I was ready. The game's over after this one. There's 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Bears will still be down by 2 scores. Packers will have the ball. That's about all she wrote. But Caleb makes one of the most clutch throws that I have seen by a Bears quarterback, falling down 2 feet off the ground and just chucked it up. And Roma Dunze came down with it and got the first down. His evasiveness, he's able to get out of the pocket, are ridiculous. And he knows how to, his pocket presence has gotten better too. He knows how to feel the pass rush this season, which isn't something you could necessarily say about last season. So I 100% agree with you, Brandon, that Caleb Williams has gotten better. Even you look at some of the next-gen stats, too, in Caleb Williams' speed. He's one of the top fastest quarterbacks in the league. He's hitting 21 miles per hour running. That's close to wide receiver levels. He's a quick quarterback who can hit that top speed and get out of the pocket. Lucas is in Little Italy. What's up, Lucas?
How we doing, guys?
Doing good.
I was at the game yesterday. I was up in the grandstand, 432, row 5. We got there at 3 o'clock, pre-gaming in the Waldron deck. It was, vibes were high. Come into halftime, and, you asked me if I lost hope. Absolutely. I got my Packers buddies blowing me up at halftime, talking all their crap. Oh, wow, that second half. Romeo Doubs killing us. That guy, that little bobblehead was just all over the field. Yep. And the one thing that got my hope back was watching Colson Loveland catch the ball. That guy is special.
Colson Loveland's next level. What a draft pick by the Bears.
People could say that Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, Tyler Warren, we got Colton Loveland, the best tight end in the league, baby. Bear down.
Thanks for the call, Lucas. I tend to agree. Not that he's the best tight end right now, but I think he has the potential to be that in the future. He was strong yesterday catching the ball. His route running is tremendous. He seems to have that chemistry with Caleb Williams game after game after game. That was a good draft pick by the Bears, and he is transforming this offense. He's open on almost every single play, it feels like. Scott's in Iowa. What's up, Scott?
Hey guys. Thanks for taking my call. I tell you what, I gave up hope last night before halftime, down 21-3, and just give me flashbacks of 2010 and just sitting in a room with a couple other Packer fans. I'm just laughing. So I'm just like, you know what? I got to get myself ready to cope with the 2026 off season. Just, listening to all the Packer fans. So I had to get to work early this morning. So I literally just went to bed. And then about 8:30, I see notifications from my Bears app, saying we got a field goal, then another field goal, then a touchdown. I'm like, what's going on? And I see the Packers score again late, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's over. But then when McManus missed that field goal, I'm like, okay, maybe it's time to turn it back on. And when that happened, when that all thing happened, I texted my fantasy league. Most of us are Bears fans. I said, all right, it's official. I'm not allowed to watch any more games. So no, I mean, honestly, I know I'm happy, but I don't know. This is just a weird feeling to be able to beat Green Bay in the playoffs like that. It's just, it's nuts.
Scott, I agree with you.
This was my Super Bowl. It really was. It was my Super Bowl this year. And honestly, this is just the rest of the way. Yeah, I mean, Super Bowl would be the goal. And I know, like you said, the players that's on their mind. But for me, it's like, let's just have fun the rest of the way. That's pretty much how this year's been for me.
Scott, I got you down, and I'm with you. I didn't have full confidence that the Bears were going to win this game, and I'm sure it's everybody, until the ball hit the ground on that final fourth down play. When the time ran out, not fourth down, but when the time ran out at the end of the game. Because time after time after time, we've seen in the past, not this season, we've seen that be a game the Bears lose. I'm sitting with fans in the stands yesterday, and everybody is saying there's too much time on the clock. We need one stop, but there's a lot of time on the clock for Jordan Love to go down the field on a defense that in the first half was eaten up by the Packers passing game. Well, the Bears made that big stop at the end of the game. And this team is special. It's different this season. And it's time to start believing that this team could maybe go all the way. We're going to talk to Tom Waddle about their chances coming up in the next playoff games here on ESPN 1000. That's coming up in a couple of minutes. Jack McGrath with you until noon, talking Bears football on ESPN 1000.
This is Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago.
Cram it up your cram hole on the floor.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Let Triton College help you spring into success. Choose from 120 degree and certificate programs. Triton has convenient classes close to home, affordable tuition, and credits transferable to four-year schools. At Triton, you'll learn from award-winning faculty with real-world experience, giving you a quality education that opens doors to your future. Affordable, quality, close to home, that's Triton College. Register now and spring into success. Visit triton.edu/spring.
Get ready for the college football playoff with a $9.99 haircut coupon from Great Clips. Kick off your game day look with convenient online check-in in the Great Clips app. The skilled stylists at Great Clips salons will save your haircut details in clip notes. And with the $9.99 haircut coupon, you'll score elite savings too. Visit greatclips.com/football to get a $9.99 haircut coupon. But hurry, offer ends soon. Great Clips, official sponsor of the college football playoff. Valid at participating salons. Terms apply.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and the playoffs are finally here. Did you win last week betting the games? My clients went 4-1 again on Sunday. The extra place added 2 more units of profit. We are turning a profit each and every week during the football season. Ready for the hoop season coming up? Now's the time to get signed up. $99 or less will get you into profit at FatJackSports.com. Get signed up today. Win all year long. Get all the plays. FatJackSports.com for less than $99 when you sign up now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Chicago's original submarine, Mr. Submarine.
Chicken sub for Tom Waddle.
Yo, toss it here.
Really?
Yeah, I used to be a professional football receiver.
Okay.
Tom Waddle used to catch lots of footballs, but he couldn't catch that chicken sub.
Well, we're bringing in Tom Waddle now. Caught a lot of balls in his day. You hear him every weekday here on ESPN 1000. We bring him in now on the England Guest Hotline. Jack McGrath with you till noon, talking Bears football. And Waddle, what a game last night. Where does this rank for you on the most important Bears wins of all time in the modern history?
Well, it's an interesting question. I would think getting to the Super Bowl, like all time. First of all, your Super Bowl win is higher than that.
I would
say any NFC championship game that you won that took you to the Super Bowl or led you to the Super Bowl, I think would be above it. But, considering the opponent and, again, how they did this in a magical fashion, it's up there. It's been one of those seasons where I don't think that, like, I'm struggling for words for it, but you certainly couldn't write this novel. I mean, every time you turn around, something magical happens. Somebody makes a play. The quarterback, makes an unbelievable throw. The 4th and 8 throw to Roma Dunze is
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that's like Madden on, the computer. That's a computer throw. I think, too, Jack, I'm done just with the traditional analysis at this point. You got to kick that to the curb and just say, look, if you let this team hang around, do it at your own risk, because you give them a crack, they're going to, give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. You crack the door open, they're going to knock it off the hinges. I was out there screaming yesterday at the pregame show, you got to get off to a faster start. They trailed 21-3 at the half. I was out there saying, you got to run the ball. You got to come out there and make them feel you early. They ran it 28 times for 93 yards, 3.3 yards per carry, one of their lowest outputs of the entire season. This team defies your normal X's and O's analysis. And just, again, if you let them hang around, they're going to make you pay. And I remember, I thought when McManus missed the extra point, and instead of a 12-point game, it was an 11-point game. I was in my office because that's where I like to watch my games without anybody else bothering me. That's why I go home after the pregame, because I want to sit in my office and close the doors and watch the game on my own. And I screamed to my wife. I said, that's huge. I said, now, because, and it turned out that they didn't go touchdown field goal, but instead of a 12-point game, it was an 11-point game. It was over 6 minutes to go, and I was like, now all you need is a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal, and now we're tied. So I thought at that particular moment, that's where, and I got to tell you, I'm not lying, I never truly lost hope. Like I was kind of baffled as to how things were going a little bit, but having seen this movie before, and then again when McManus misses the extra point, then they've conditioned all of us to never give up hope for them. So it's just, it's incredible. In your young life, this has got to be at the top of the list.
Oh, 100%. I put it as number 4. I think the 2 NFC Championship games and the Super Bowl game are bigger wins. Other than that, I don't know that there's a single one. And obviously, if the Bears go farther in the playoffs, hindsight's going to be 2020, and we'll be able to put some more context on that. Speaking of the hope factor, the Bears, stat for you, Bears are just the 4th team in NFL history to trail by 15 or more points in the 4th quarter of a playoff game and come back to win. Just 4. Just 4. And they did that. So I get what you're saying. He never gave it up because this team has continued to show. And Caleb Williams shows the poise game in and game out. And with him at quarterback, there's nothing you don't believe in with this offense and being able to get it done at the end of games.
Well, I think you say that, about all of them, really, the quarterback. There's so many things to talk about with this game. I thought Caleb was struggling for a large portion of this game, like not with kind of controlling things, but I thought he was off target. I just didn't think they had a ton of rhythm. But, at some point he does catch a heater, and he's got that clutch gene, and he's a playmaker. And, you just, like I said, it's symbolic of the entire team. Don't ever count him out. I would say right now, Jack, and we're living in the moment, but like in a clutch situation, I'm not sure there's more than maybe one, if not none, quarterbacks in the league right now that you'd want in crunch time. I mean, I don't. You could go through the list, but like he's in the team photo, and it's a small team.
No, I'm with you, and I think he passed the line of going from just an average good quarterback to starting to get into that elite tier.
Well, and
each game he's showing his arrival, and on a national stage, I had friends who are Colts fans, even Packers fans saying, all right, this guy's here now.
Well, like I've been saying all week, you got the coach, you've got the quarterback, you've got a bright future. And look, here's again, I still don't believe they've advanced to the divisional round in the playoffs, and I still am not sure they've played a complete game against a good team.
No.
Like, they played a complete game against Cleveland, but like I said, a complete game against a good team. So it just tells you there's room to grow, and there's people, mad at the coach for some of the cuteness and the 4th down calls and the quarterback's not making, some easy throws. And at the end of the day, the coach schemes Zacchaeus open and schemes DJ open on a great call as well for 2 wide open touchdown catches, and the quarterback who's struggling with his accuracy drops a dime on Roma Dunze on 4th and 8 in a must-have play. Like, so I guess the point is that even when you think that, they're complete, they're not. There's still room for both of them to grow. So it's crazy fun. And look, here's some 4th quarter numbers for you. 21-3 in the first half. Bears were outgained 231 yards to 122 yards. After that 16-play drive to start the game, the Bears only ran 17 offensive plays. And in the third quarter, it was more of the same. They had a field goal and an interception. They trailed 21-6 after 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, they had 210 yards and 25 points. They had 3 touchdown drives, 54, 76, and 66. They were 4 of 6 on third downs. Like, that's the most productive fourth quarter I think I've ever seen in my life in crucial moments. And I'll say this as well, Jack. Don't dismiss the job that Dennis Allen did in the second half. In the first half, the Packers had 4 possessions. They had 3 touchdowns, and they missed a field goal at the end of the half. They had 285-plus yard drives for touchdowns. They had 231 total yards and 21 points. In the second half, they had 7 possessions. They had 4 punts, 1 touchdown, 1 missed field goal in the end of the game. You had 150 total yards and 6 points from the Packers in the second half. They got more aggressive. They pressured Love, and there was no disputing the fact that defensively they were much better in the final 30 minutes they were in the first 30 minutes. And I give the players credit, but I also give the coach credit because he had to find something that would work. And I think he dialed up some pressure, and he made Love a little bit uncomfortable. In their first 3 drives of the second half, they went 3 plays, 3 plays, 5 plays. So the entire tenor of the game kind of changed. While the score was still 21-6 at the end of three quarters, I mean,
you started to believe in the defense.
Yes.
That was what changed. Yeah. You believed you could get a stop because the Packers had 4 drives in the first half. Yeah. It went touchdown, 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 field goal because they ran out of time.
Yeah.
And they probably, if they kept going, it felt like they could have probably scored a touchdown if they kept pushing the ball.
So, we spent a lot of time talking about the magical performance of Caleb in the fourth quarter and the offense scoring 25 points in the final frame. We'll talk about the defense, making adjustments and improving. You also have to tip your cap to special teams. Duvernay with a couple of long returns, and your kicker, Cairo Santos, is perfect on the night. And
he made a big tackle too. I don't know if he gets credit for the tackle, but he made a big play stopping Josh Jacobs from breaking that kickoff return. I think Jacobs might have took that to the house if Cairo Santos doesn't hit him there.
Yeah, no doubt. And then you turn it around and look at the Packers, and McManus misses a 55-yarder, he misses a 40-something-yarder, he misses an extra point. So, again, we can sit and we do. We talk and we battle about the value of a Cairo Santos. I thought it was on full display again against the Packers in difficult conditions. So, yeah, keep dreaming, keep believing, Jack, because this team is something else. It's unlike any season I've seen in any sport, I think. When you factor in all of the 6 come-from-behind wins while trailing at the 2-minute mark in the regular season, and this come-from-behind victory where they outscored them, 25-6 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, the storybook season continues.
Talking to Tom Waddle on the Yingling guest hotline. Jack McGrath with you until noon. And I talked about this a little bit with Jason McKee earlier in the show, but we were talking about halftime adjustments because the defense did look like a different team after halftime, and that's what sparked the belief that the Bears could win this game. How real are halftime adjustments? Because I've heard Peyton Manning talk before about how halftime adjustments aren't something that really exist. You've been in an NFL locker room before. How real are halftime adjustments?
Well, they are real if you change your approach. Maybe in Peyton's situation, it was a matter of players coming out and just, you got to play better. Our plan's going to stay the same. We just got to execute. We have to execute better. But the game plan wasn't the same in the second half. You could see a noticeable difference with how many guys they had at the line of scrimmage, how many guys they were bringing at Jordan Love. I don't want to overplay the value of adjustments, but when you change the way you're playing, then I think that it is valuable, and I think it is something that you can point to. So, offensively, I don't know that they made a ton of adjustments other than, guys started catching the ball and Caleb started finding his rhythm, and you caught a decimated defense on their heels, and the snowball just continued to roll. But yeah, I would say the adjustments, from my perspective, they looked pretty obvious to me defensively. They were just look, what we tried to do in the first half didn't work, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to heat Jordan Love up. And I didn't think, Jack, that would have been the right plan, because the last thing I wanted to see them do is try to play a ton of man, which they did, and maybe they brought some pressure with some zone behind it. I had to go back and look at the film, but those aren't matchups that favor your defense.
No, and then you wind up with Romeo Doubs running a fade route 30 yards down the field, pushing off a little bit, but also catching the ball and running down the field because you're dialing up man with cornerbacks that haven't been great in man coverage all season long. Speaking of that, what'd you think of Jalen Johnson's performance? First half, he didn't look too great. Second half, I thought he looked like the old Jalen.
Yeah, better in the second half than the first. He's just not. Look, he had major surgery. I think you put on the film and you still see guys running away from him. He was top 5, Jack, prior to this year in the league, in my opinion. He was sticky, he was athletic, he was nasty, he was, not the world's greatest run supporter, but a guy in coverage who was, again, like I said, he's top 5 talent. He's just not the same guy right now. Maybe he gets back to that next year, but with that in mind, he was much better in the second half of this game than he was in the first half, and even going back to the game against the Lions, where I think everyone in the secondary struggled.
Waddle, we got a question for you on the phone lines, if you're good to take it. It's sure. Tim in Logan Square. What's up, Tim?
Hey, Tommy. Hey, Jack.
Good morning. How's it going?
Good. that series in the first half when the Bears turned the ball over on downs, on fourth down in their own zone, which led to the Packers converting and scoring a touchdown. The third down play was the Komet catch that was ruled a fumble initially, then it was overturned. What do you guys – I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I thought that was a catch. And then second part, in this era of Madden-style football, no punting, which I love, that was a terrible spot to go for it on fourth down, no?
Well, first of all, the play, I don't know what a catch is these days. I haven't for quite some time.
That was a catch. He turned, he made a football move. He held the ball for like 2 seconds, and he turned, made a football move, and it got punched out. I thought that was clearly a catch.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was too, Jack, but by the letter of the law, I guess you can argue that it wasn't. Who knows? Like I said, these days I have no idea. I think the Loveland one, wasn't there one where Loveland had a similar situation?
Yeah, he held the ball for a little less though than
that looked more, convincingly like an incomplete pass. But I think you could definitely make the case that that was a bad call, but such is life in the NFL. In terms of the aggressiveness, I think at that particular time, I don't think there was any faith in his defense. You would just – I'm going back to the drive chart right now. This was early in the game. They went touchdown, 9 plays, 85 yards. The next time they had the ball, they went 10 plays, 87 yards. At that point, as a play caller, you're like, we're never going to stop these guys. So you're in that moment. Mm-hmm. You can look at it, on a 10:45 on Sunday, the day after, and go, well, that was the wrong time. Well, at that point, you're down 14-3. You've got no confidence in your defense, and your offense is, the strength of your team. Is it aggressive? Yeah, and you better get it if you're on your own 32. But that's the one that got tipped, right?
Yes, it was.
Boy, that play would have gone for a long. I mean,
Burton was open on the slant.
Yeah, ifs and buts. You had a good play dialed up. They just the Packer defensive player made it good. Look, this is again, and I'm not going to. The caller Tim is. I'm not going to argue with you. Overly aggressive. Should he have done it? If you want to make the case he shouldn't have, I'm totally cool with that. At the end of the game, I don't know how you felt about the Zacchaeus touchdown and then the DJ Moore touchdown. We talk about in this game, Jack, scheming guys open. Both guys completely wide open.
Yep.
Now, I take nothing away from Caleb or the offensive line or anybody else, but those are plays that are attributed, in my opinion, to the play caller because you get the ball in the hands of guys that don't have anybody around them. So that same coach, and again, you can criticize one quarter and you can praise him in the next quarter. That's just a part of the game. He's not perfect, and this is why I said earlier, as magnificent as this has been for the majority of the time, there is still room to grow. This is sometimes in the heat of the game, you got to take the good with the bad, and you can criticize it and have valid criticism, but just acknowledge also that in crunch time, he called some plays that got guys wide ass open and got him in the end zone.
I have a theory about that too. So that go for it play was with 5 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah.
If you punt and the Packers eat up your defense like they had all game long, the Bears probably aren't getting another possession in the half.
No,
the way Ben Johnson's thinking, he's probably thinking he wants at least one more possession or at least a score in this half. So you might as well go for it and give yourself a chance to get the ball back if you think they're going to score anyways.
Yeah, I mean that's a solid suggestion. I don't know if that's specifically what he was thinking. I got it. I mean, my guess would be if you hooked him up to the truth serum would be he was complete. And I think he even said it. He didn't feel like his defense could stop anyone at that time, and they wanted to put the ball in their fate in the hands of their offense. So. At the end of the day, it worked out, my brother. That's what happens.
Bear down. Thank you, Waddle. I appreciate the time. We got to take a quick break.
You got it.
That was Tom Waddle on the Yingling Guest Hotline. Jack McGrath back with you in a second. Talking Bears. We'll head to the phone lines next. 312-332-3776. Did you lose hope in last night's game? And who do you want to play next? We'll get to you next here on ESPN 1000.
This is Chicago's home for sports. ESPN Chicago.
Hey, fellas, it's your pal Yurko, the good kid. Sometimes we all need a little extra confidence when it's your time to perform. And guess what? That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew provides access to chewable tablets that can help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like somebody gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. And here's what I love. It's simple. No awkward doctor visits, no pharmacy lines. Everything is online. Their licensed medical providers work with you to find the right option. And it all ships in a discreet package right to your door. Think about it. Whether it's a big date night, an anniversary, or just a normal Tuesday, showing up ready makes all the difference. Confidence counts. Guys, this isn't just about performance. Give her group chat something to talk about. Be the legend of the night. And right now, I've got a special deal for you. Your first month is free. Just go to BlueChew.com, use promo code ESPN, and pay only $5 for shipping. That's it. Chew it and do it. Blue Chew, a small chew for a big difference.
When it comes to your home, why juggle a dozen different contractors? Service Construction of Illinois does it all. Kitchens, bathrooms, basements, decks, outdoor spaces, you name it, they build it. For 50 years, they've been the one-stop shop for families across Chicagoland, combining craftsmanship, reliability, and a true passion for making homes shine. Work with Service Construction of Illinois once, and you'll know. You can rely on them for any needs for the lifetime of your home. Visit serviceconstruction.net and start your project today.
And here we are, folks. It's the Jeff and Jeff Call. I know football.
And I know houses, because when it comes to selling your house, you need a winning team you can trust.
No surprises, no fumbles, just a clear path to closing, just like a perfect play.
Jeff Buys Your House makes it simple. A fair offer, no repairs needed, and a closing date on your timeline.
Don't take a chance selling your house with just anyone. Visit us at jeffbuysyourhouse.com for your no-obligation offer today.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 369-369 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 369-369. That's HIM to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
ESPN 1000, Chicago's home for sports.
Follow Chicago's home for sports on Twitter at ESPN 1000.
Huge win for the Packers over the Bears. For the Bears over the Packers last night. My goodness, I'm tired after last night's game. I couldn't sleep last night. I could not sleep last night. I was up. I had the adrenaline rushing. I don't know if any of you out there slept, but I was giddy after last night's win. This was the arrival of the Chicago Bears. They own the NFC North now officially. Yeah, they won the division, but if you lose yesterday's game, do you really own the NFC North? I don't know that you really do, but the Bears move on to the playoffs, survive in advance, and they're 2 wins away from the Super Bowl. Let's talk about that. Jeremy's been on the phone line for forever. Jeremy's in Buffalo Grove. Thank you for holding on. What's up, Jeremy?
What is up, Jack? Great job you're doing this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great job. So I was at my local bar in Lake Zurich last night, and people wanted to leave, and I kept telling them, you got to wait. Still got another half to go. They want to leave at the end of the third quarter. I'm like, no, got to wait. 6 minutes ago, the Packers score. And I just kept, saying, got to believe. Game's not over. 6 minutes to go. Still went down to 11 points. But the reason why I really called in the game for you is, who do you want to see next?
Yeah.
If the Eagles win, it's the Eagles. If they lose, it's the Rams. For me, looking at the whole game of those two teams, the Rams scare me more offensively than the Eagles. Defensively, the Rams have no defense.
Yeah.
They had so many turnovers. The Panthers turned the ball over 3 times. Panthers are still in the game with a minute to, they were holding the lead with a minute to go, and Stafford again with a great comeback. One of the best guys that has comebacks. It's like 34 to 38 comebacks all time. So who do you want to see next?
That's a good question, Jeremy. Thank you for the phone call. So last night I was debating this in my head, and I've gone back and forth, and I've changed my opinion multiple times. After last night's game against the Panthers, watching Rams-Panthers, I was leaning towards the Rams because I think they're gettable. The issue is that passing offense is so good and Matthew Stafford is so composed that he would feast on the Bears secondary. The only way that the Bears would beat the Rams is if it is in a shootout. They will not be able to stop that Rams offense with Matthew Stafford dicing them up. The Eagles, on the other hand, are obviously the reigning Super Bowl champions, and they have a good defense. They've been there, done that. But on the other side, the Rams have too. It was just a few years ago. For those reasons, I would rather face the Philadelphia Eagles in the next round of the playoffs, so I'll be cheering for them today. The Bears have already beaten the Eagles. They did so on their turf. It was a weird game because it was Black Friday, but the Bears dominated them. I am not as scared of their passing offense, even with as clutch as Jalen Hurts has been. I would rather face the Eagles in the next round of the playoffs, so I'll be rooting for them against the 49ers today. Rather have them than the Rams. It's close, though. I think the Bears could beat either team. But right now, I'd rather face Philadelphia. They've been there, done that, but their passing offense doesn't scare me as much. We're going to go to Courtney Cronin next. She had quite the weekend. Indiana and the Bears pulling off the big wins. Also, hold on the phone lines. We'll get to you guys soon here as well. This is ESPN 1000. Jack McGrath with you till noon.
This is ESPN Chicago, Chicago's home for sports.
Getting health insurance that fits your budget isn't easy.
At Get Covered Illinois, we are here to help.
We are the state's official health insurance marketplace.
A place where health insurers compete for your business. A website where you can compare multiple health plans and pricing in one place.
And where you can connect to financial help and free in-person assistance.
Because you deserve insurance. GetCoveredIllinois.gov. We're here to help.
Hey, it's Dionne Miller, and if you're in the market or even think you should be in the market for new windows, you need to call Russ Armstrong, the Chicago window guy. For over 30 years, Russ has done things differently. He offers the most energy-efficient windows and doors at the lowest price, and they come with a lifetime guarantee. And when you call Chicago window guys like I did, you get to deal directly with Russ, and you will not be sorry. So call Chicago window guys today at 847-881-3060, or check them out for yourself at ChicagoWindowGuys.com.
ChicagoWindowGuys.com.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The New Year's sales event is going on at all 12 Hawk Auto locations in Forest Park, St. Charles, Plainfield, Joliet, Carroll Stream, and now LaSalle, Peru. Shop thousands of vehicles from 13 brands and save with 0% financing for 60 months or make no payments for 90 days. Plus, save even more with $500 to $2,000 bonus cash. Find your next car at hawkauto.com and drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk.
HawkAuto.com.
Financing on select models with approved credit.
Hey guys, Yurko here for Mitch Lyons Wealth. Mitch is a former Pro Bowl player like me, but now he's a retirement pro, and he knows the value of a winning game plan. I want you to get Mitch's retirement toolkit for the Yurko special price of, wait for it, nada. That's right, it's free. This kit includes his book, Retirement of Steel, along with guides for Social Security, taxes, and more. Call 844-867-8335. That's 844-86-STEEL for your retirement toolkit. Mitch Lyons Wealth, your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
14 years in prison for killing a young woman. A 15-year sentence for a crash that caused 3 deaths. 12 and a half years for killing a child and critically injuring her mother. All true stories, all caused by marijuana-impaired drivers. No matter what you tell yourself, if you feel different, you drive different. So, if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
There's probably a little bit more noise coming out of their building up north.
to start the week, which we heard loud and clear, players and coaches alike. So this one meant something to us.
I still go back to earlier in the show when Jason McKee was on with us and said that he heard Ben Johnson yelling some obscenities about the Packers, or an obscenity about the Packers, in his office when Ben Johnson was alone, according to J-Mac. J-Mac was outside waiting to hear from Caleb Williams and talk to him in his post-game interview, and Ben Johnson's in there yelling blank Green Bay. He does not like the Packers. He wanted this win, and the Bears wanted this win, and fans, I know you wanted it even more. Courtney Cronin, our Bears reporter, she covers the Bears. She knows this team better than anybody. And Courtney, it was quite the sports weekend for you this weekend.
Yeah, my gosh. I mean, you can hear it in my voice just from the Indiana game and the carryover from the Peach Bowl into a very late night last night covering this Bears wild fourth quarter win. And you know, there are so many people in the Chicagoland area who have ties to IU and are Bears fans. And I think it was PFT commenter who put out the tweet last night that if you're one of both of those things, that you're not feeling like you're living in reality right now, that you're probably thinking you're in an alternate universe. And I can understand why, because like they were left for dead last night.
Mm-hmm.
It was 21-6 in the fourth quarter, and then they rattle off 25 points, and they win that game. And then Indiana the night before, just absolute obliteration of a team that was playing for a national championship just like they were, and they're the ones advancing. So, I mean, it's wild times for those of us who have ties and people who are fans of both teams. Obviously, for me being an alum, that was an incredible moment. And then to get to cover the game last night, like, you're so used to covering these insane games, especially late, but like last night did feel a little different early on, and then all of a sudden they just go back and they're like, nope, we're going to pull it off the same way we've done all season long. Fourth quarter comeback game-winning drive for Caleb Williams. It's truly remarkable.
Courtney Cronin joining us on the Yingling Guest Hotline. Jack McGrath with you till noon today, talking Bears football. And walking out of that stadium last night, Courtney, it felt like a blur. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. I was in the stands as a fan yesterday, and I had Bears fans coming up and hugging me. Like random people that I didn't know just were giving me hugs. I was high-fiving everybody. You had people just standing in the foyer yelling at the top of their lungs. It was unlike anything, and that atmosphere last night was incredible.
I've never felt the press box shake in Soldier Field. And, like, so in the fourth quarter pretty sure it was after the Zacchaeus touchdown and the 2-point conversion, like, I start feeling underneath my feet. Like, I just started feeling the ground, like, moving. And I was like, are we having an earthquake? And the only other time I felt that in a press box was covering a Wisconsin football game when the press box shakes when they do jump around. And that was years ago. So to feel that yesterday for the fans who wisely stayed, because I'm sure there were a lot of people probably thinking, it's 21-6, fourth quarter. They've played like crap all game. Why not just, get a jump on traffic? But also knowing in the same breath, might there be a chance they pull this one out? Like, that's why I don't think you saw anybody leave, and why that game in the last 5 minutes was such a furious comeback. It was fueled by the fans. And Ben said it in the post-game locker room when he was doing good, better, best. After that, to address the team, he said, make sure you talk about this crowd because they played a huge role in giving them the momentum the same way they did with the 2-minute comeback against Green Bay on the 20th with the touchdown and then the onside kick and then winning in overtime. There are times where the crowd really feeds into what a team can do, especially at home. That's why they wanted these home games. They're so thrilled they get another one next week to see if the Soldier Field magic, which has played into a lot of these games for them in the fourth quarter, if that can continue.
Well, I go to the delay of game penalty on the last drive where it pushes them back from the range at about 25 yards where you can maybe run a play or draw something up to essentially turning it into a 30-yard Hail Mary. That is a big 5-yard difference right there to where you go from drawing up a play territory, maybe running some routes towards the end zone to having to just chuck it up. And that's what Jordan Love had to do on that last play. the big national storyline today is the handshake between Matt LaFleur and Ben Johnson. You see Ben Johnson, and he's yelling at Matt LaFleur's face, and it's maybe the quickest handshake I've ever seen in my life. It's more of a high five than a handshake. Do you have any insight? I know it's Bears-Packers, and they're going against each other a lot recently. Do you have any insight on why these guys don't like each other so much?
See, that's the thing that's like the great mystery here, because they really don't know each other all that well. Like, they've never coached on a staff together. Like, do they have, like, I think their biggest mutual connection, and the person who probably has the realty, is Zach Taylor, because Zach obviously is very close with Ben. Press Taylor's on Ben's staff. He knows him really well. Like, I believe he was in his wedding. Like, all those things from their time in Miami together. And then Zach and Matt LaFleur's connection is pretty well documented too. So I'll say this, because there is, I think when it comes to the overall body of work of a coach, to get your team motivated, whether it's off of real beef or not, is an art. And I know what the Packers said throughout the week, and the stuff that Ben Johnson said. There's a lot of chirping coming out of their building. You know, Jeff Hafley giving the old playoff guarantee, like, I'll see you guys here next week, didn't say bleep the Bears, like, screw them. He didn't say anything out of pocket. He just that was the motivation that he felt he needed, and the Bears took that as a slight. Keyshawn Nixon and Christian Watson saying that they want to match up with the Bears. They want the Bears again in the playoffs because they want to avenge that loss. I don't think that's a slight.
No.
But however Ben Johnson was able to get his guys to believe that they think you're soft, they think you suck, they think X, Y, and Z about you, clearly became something that served as motivation for them to go out and not only do right by themselves, but along the way, get the last laugh and prove the Packers wrong. And it's good for the NFL when the Bears and Packers have a rivalry. And this is truly a rivalry now, because Ben got to back up what he said he was going to do, which was beat Matt LaFleur twice a year. It's a different conversation today if they lose that game and the Packers are going on to play in the divisional round, the Bears are not. But whatever it is between Ben Johnson and Matt LaFleur, if there was something, some comment made in passing, something that happened over the years that clearly LaFleur doesn't think it's a rivalry, he doesn't think there's any beef, but Ben Johnson's holding on to something. Whatever it is has ignited fuel back into a dormant rivalry that felt one-sided for so many years and is now getting a chance to live up to being the NFL's greatest rivalry. And I love it. I think it's great to cover. It's great for fans. The players are buying into it, and it's working.
And you talk about how the narrative would have been different in this game had it gone the other way, and that's obvious. But I think this feels like a shift of what the NFC North could look like for years to come, because for so long it has been the Bears would have lost that game. The Packers have owned them. But now you hope, as a Bears fan, that it starts to creep into the back of the Packers' mind that they can't figure out a way to beat this team. Because they had that game in their hands, and they gave it to the Bears. The Bears went out and won the game, but they gave a lot of opportunities to the Bears at the end of that game, and you have to think that creeps into the back of their mind.
Yeah, two things can be true. The Bears won that game, and the Packers blew it. Like, you were up 21-3. That is a score. It's a 3-score lead. You should absolutely win that game, but you blew it. And I think a big portion of that was the Bears adjusted defensively. Like, they stopped blitzing as much, but they got more pressure on Jordan Love. They were much more effective against him on 3rd and 4th down, probably because they were playing less man. Because in the first half, it's just they were trying to sell out to stop the run, and the man coverage killed them over the top. And those explosive plays happened. And it led to the 3 touchdowns. So Chicago coming in at halftime, making adjustments, doing what they needed to do. And Green Bay, I don't know if they were on cruise control or if it was just a matter of mistake after mistake, but it's not like this is the first time this has happened for Matt LaFleur in the playoffs. What's his stat? He's 1 of 4 in his last 5 playoff games. This is why they have to bring up the question about his job security today. And maybe it takes till tomorrow. Maybe we don't find out until these playoff games are over and they've got to sort through it. But you can understand why there is this hesitation and pause, at least the narrative around him, of have they reached their ceiling under this coach? Because he was great. He got there and he got them to the NFC Championship game first year, 2019, something that Ben Johnson's trying to do in his first year. But they haven't been back since. And there's a lot of things that you think about late in games that they do really poorly compared to how they did really well in the first half, and that falls on coaching. And ultimately, LaFleur is going to have to be the one to answer for it. But it's a totally like a tale of two narratives that shift. Like Ben Johnson is Mr. Stoicism, and in games he's the one. Like I remember leaving the Vikings game in Minnesota in Week 12, and you would have thought someone murdered his dog. Like just like he looked so upset leaving the field. And it's like, what's wrong? You just walked off a win on a last-second field goal, but that's how he's been. It was a rare set of emotion that came out of Ben Johnson last night when he's on the field getting knocked over by Rome Odunze, screaming, the quick handshake, fist pumping, celebrating with his guys, and then carrying that all the way back into the locker room for like 30 minutes beyond. That's different, and that shows you just how much this one means to him.
The way I view it is the Packers are in football purgatory right now. It's kind of where the Bulls have been for years. They get that 8 seed, they get that play-in game, but they're not good enough to win, and they don't have that superstar. I don't think Jordan Love is that superstar that can take you over the top. I think we saw he had a good game yesterday, 323 yards and 4 touchdowns, but he didn't show up in clutch time. He had a 2-minute drive at the end of the game to win it and wasn't able to convert, and once the Bears got pressure on him, he wasn't doing all too much against their defense. I kind of view them the same place the Bulls have been in, and that's why I think Matt LaFleur's on the hot seat, and they're having a lot of conversations about taking away his job. The run game also didn't get going yesterday, especially in the second half. Josh Jacobs under 3 yards per carry. That was a completely different team in the second half on defense.
It was, and speaking to their run game, because early on the Bears were selling out to try to stop Josh Jacobs, and it worked a little bit, but it left them vulnerable in other places. The Packers stopped trying to run the ball, and I was kind of surprised by that because that felt very much like the befuddling decisions that they made against Baltimore to not run the ball. And I know that Josh Jacobs is banged up. Look, he's been banged up for the last 5 weeks, but it's no excuse to get away from what you're doing so well offensively, and that's that little crack that you leave the door open and the Bears are able to find their way back in. And I was listening to J-Mac at halftime when he, Ben Johnson in his 2-second halftime interview, it's like one play at a time. That's the mentality. That seems so, I don't want to use the word far-fetched, but it just seems like, oh my gosh, they have such a monumental climb to get back in this game. But football is a great sport of momentum to where I don't know if momentum carries over game to game. I believe Ben Johnson on that. That's because you didn't see it go from the Packers game to the 49ers game last time around. But momentum carries over within games where you score a touchdown there with DeAndre Swift, 10 minutes something in the fourth quarter, and it's 21-16. So it's a one-score game. And then they get the playoff to Olamide Zaccheaus, a 2-point conversion. It's a 3-point game. And because Caleb's able to extend that drive for the fourth down, maybe the best throw he's had all season, and a season full of them, when he throws that ball to Rome Odunze, it's all right, they're winning this game. If you're making that throw and you're able to keep this team afloat, you're moving the ball, that catches a team on their heels. And that's what the Packers were. They looked stunned because of how quickly it snowballed. And if there's any team that's really good at getting downhill quickly and sustaining that, it's this Bears team. They know how to build that momentum off of one play, and they're lucky, I guess, it happened when it did, because it happens 1 or 2 minutes later, they probably don't have enough for a comeback.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. Injury report here. So it looks like TJ Edwards and Ozzie Trapillo are probably done for the year.
Yeah, they both have season-ending injuries. It's a patellar tendon rupture for Ozzie Trapillo and fractured fibula for TJ Edwards. And that one looked really serious. Obviously, the air cast was put on him on the field. Very emotional for him. This is somebody who just signed a contract extension in the offseason. This is a significant injury that's going to take him a lot of time to recover. And that's where the Bears were vulnerable yesterday. But I guess it speaks to their depth. DeMarco Jackson comes in, felt like he, handled that really well in that role. I mean, he was an NFC Defensive Player of the Week a couple weeks ago, and good to have him there because Edwards is not going to be able to play the rest of the way. And, I thought it was a limited sample size because Ozzie got hurt late in the fourth quarter, but Theo Benedette has started 7 games at left tackle. And he did it last week when Ozzie had the quad injury. So, that's it's quality depth that they've built too that I think is very much part of the unsung heroes nature of this team, of guys who have stepped in and handled roles that they probably weren't expecting to this year and are going to have to in a divisional playoff game.
Any pick here for the Indiana Hoosiers versus Miami game coming up?
I mean, I can't pick against my alma mater, not that I would under any circumstances, but 7.5-point favorites to open. I know that Miami's dealing with some injuries up front on defense. I think it might not be 56-22, but I think that they win in pretty dominating fashion. I'll call it by 2 touchdowns.
All right. Thank you for your time, Courtney. Excited for your Hoosiers, and thanks for joining us.
Great stuff. Appreciate it, Jack. Thank you.
That was Courtney Cronin on the Yingling Guest Hotline. When we come back, we'll get to your phone calls, 312-332-3776. I also want to play you something from Ben Johnson in his postgame press conference yesterday that I think is important to point out. It's from the beginning of the season. It's talking about something that happened at the beginning of the season that I think has helped set the tone for the entirety of this season. That's coming up. Jack McGrath with you until noon on ESPN 1000 Talking Bears.
ESPN Chicago on FM 100.3 HD2, the ESPN Chicago app, and ESPN 1000.
Has the excitement of betting turned into worry? Feeling overwhelmed every time you roll the dice? Problem gambling doesn't just affect your wallet. It can impact your health, relationships, and peace of mind. But there's hope. Gateway Foundation is here to help you take back control of your life with personalized treatment options. You don't have to face this alone. Call Gateway Foundation today at 844-444-5780. That's 844-444-5780.
Hey, it's Cap. Playoff time is here, and this is when you need to be locked in. But if you're not sleeping well or you can't breathe, good luck focusing on anything, let alone the playoffs. That's where my great friends at Sinus and Snoring MD come in. Breathe better and sleep better with in-office treatments and same-day appointments. Now's the time to take care of yourself and start 2026 feeling your best. Call 847-545-0147 or visit sinusandsnoringmd.com and get ready for a better night's sleep. That is sinusandsnoringmd.com.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
The prophecy has come true. Ben Johnson beats Matt LaFleur twice in the season. A guy who it seems like he really doesn't like very much. At least that's what it looks like on the surface. Don't know his own thoughts. But the way he's acting and his body language would lead you to believe there's a little bit of beef there. And the way he talks about the Packers and the way he talks about Matt LaFleur and the brush off of the handshake, it's all there. Ben Johnson has transformed the culture of this team. That is not a game the Bears usually win. I will repeat that. That is not a game the Bears usually win. Rob's on I-94. What's up, Rob?
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, it was a hell of a game. We were there last night, driving back home to Indianapolis. Took my two boys to their first Bears playoff game. And I'll tell you, man, the sections around us were crazy. Everybody was hugging each other, randoms hugging. But this is my point here that I want to ask your opinion on.
Yeah.
You know, it feels like everything's a year ahead of schedule, right? And it really kind of takes it back to when the Cubbies won the World Series in the year previously.
Yeah.
They felt like they were ahead of schedule. And, like, the way I'm feeling and looking about it, it feels like everything from here on out's a bonus. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and your take on that, man. Go Bears. And my boy wants to say go Bears. Tell him, Go Bears.
Rob, how old are your sons?
17-year-old son and 13-year-old son.
All right. Does your 13-year-old son, I'm assuming the 17-year-old understands. He's been around enough. Does your 13-year-old son realize this isn't how this usually goes? This is a little bit different than how things have been going?
You got that, Owie? What's your thoughts, buddy?
I'm just in shock at how it's going and how they're doing.
I got you. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate the phone call. I said it earlier in the show. I was walking out of the stadium yesterday, and there's a guy with his sons who are about the age of Rob's son. He's about 13 years old, 12 years old, 10 years old maybe. And he goes, this is about as high as we're going to be. This is the peak of sports fandom. And it was yesterday. And to Rob's point, I agree with you. We're playing with house money now because of this win. If the Bears lost this game, I would have been more prone to say this season was not a success because it means that you have not controlled the division. You still have not gotten over the hump of beating the team that has dominated you for the last 2 decades. But they've gotten over that hump. There's no going back now. This is the turning point. This is it right here. This is about as good as it gets. And Rob might be right. It could just be the start, which makes it all the better. I mean, Dan Campbell said it last year for the Lions. He's like, you never know if you're going to get back here. You don't know if this is your only shot. This doesn't feel like the only shot for the Bears. This feels like the start of something special. And I really hope that's what it is. But with a guy like Ben Johnson at the helm, the way he's built this team, it just feels different. He feels locked in. Caleb Williams is a quarterback who's elite. He is growing with Ben Johnson. And the belief this team has in themselves is something to be admired. They are never down and out. They were down by 18 points at halftime, and they could have gone in, and the Packers had the ball at the start of the second half. They could have gone into their shell and said, this game's over. But they didn't. The defense came out, and after getting spliced up in the first half, came out and put on a show in the second half, and the offense did the same, scoring 25 points in the fourth quarter. Here's a quote from Ben Johnson that I want to play in his post-game press conference, and this all comes back to this. And it's an example for me of how good of a coach Ben Johnson is and some of his methods that he uses for this team. So the game he's referring to in this, you'll hear it in the clip, is the Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl, where the Falcons were up 28-3, and the Patriots came all the way back and won the game. That was the 2017 Super Bowl, 2016-17 season. This is Ben Johnson about how the Bears are able to come back in these games and the belief that they have.
One thing that we had done during training camp was we had shown the film of the Atlanta and New England game and the Super Bowl from, was that 2016? I can't remember what year that was, but we have 2 players on our roster that were part of both those teams. You know, Grady was with Atlanta and Joe Tooney was with New England, and it was just great to get perspective from both of those players of how that game went down. And I think it's just a good lesson to be learned that, you know, it's 28-3 in the middle of the third quarter, and yet, you know, the game still being played, and there's a lot of time left. And that was my message to the group, was just reminding them that this has been done before, and rather than saying woe is me and oh crap, we're in a hole, it's more, this is a great opportunity for us to turn this thing around into a game that we'll never forget, and that's what they did.
I can't remember the name of the book I was reading, but it was a while ago. It was I can't remember if it was through school or something else, but it was a book, and it had a section on a sports psychologist. And in the book, it talked about how the sports psychologist would always tell players that there are going to be times when you're out. The amount of teams that go through a season without losses, without ups and downs, without comebacks is minimal. There aren't teams that do that. And the Bears are a team that have, and because of that, the athlete needs to have belief in themselves. Well, guess what? The Bears are showing they have the utmost belief in themselves to come back in games. And I think that Ben Johnson letting us in on what he did in the preseason there about showing the Super Bowl and using his team leaders, utilizing the veterans in the locker room to build on those experiences, get them up in front of the group and show just how special a comeback can be and how you're never out of a game. That's important. And it just gives good insight onto Ben Johnson's methods and the way that he believes his team can come back in any given game. And the players are starting to believe that too. Matt's in Arlington Heights. What's up, Matt?
Hey, good morning, guys. What a game last night. The first thing that I thought of when, this happened was just thinking about everybody from above, family members we all have as fans who would love to have seen this. Close college buddy of mine, JD, was, I know he was smiling down on us. Mm-hmm. And, just one thing about this team, this is really the start of a run. I feel like this year is gravy, seeing that obviously there's still areas that this team can be improved. But, looking at the playmakers on offense and the ages of them under the rookie contracts with Williams, Loveland, we know all of them, Burden, Odunze. Yeah. It's the start of something special.
I think I'm with you, Matt. This is the window opening right now. The window is opening, and it's open. The Bears are in their window. 3 more wins and the Bears win the Super Bowl, guys. 2 more wins and the Bears get there. And they've already beaten the Eagles this season. You know they can beat them. The Panthers nearly knocked off the Rams. You know the Bears can beat them because if the Panthers can do it and come close, the Bears are a much better team than that and certainly can. And the Seahawks have Sam Darnold. The Bears were 1 possession away from beating the 49ers. And I say the Seahawks have Sam Darnold. He's been pretty good this year, but it's laid goose eggs in big games before. Who's to say he doesn't do that again? There's not a team right now in the NFC that the Bears can't beat. The Super Bowl is in play, and it's 2 games away. This is the time for the Chicago Bears. The window is open. Ryan's calling from downtown. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on, Jack? Yeah, in my life, I'm an 18-year-old kid, and, I saw the double doink. I've been around to see them lose to the Packers in the playoffs and in other games they could have won. And the turnaround they've had just this season alone is crazy, from being 5-12 with a rookie quarterback who's supposed to be your stud, and now he's that guy, right? And they've really just turned it around and done a great job of building this team to win and then going out and getting the right coaches for it, too. Besides Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen, there's a lot of other great guys on this coaching staff to really make this team really great. You got Randall L., the receivers coach, Bieniemy's. That guy talking about winning Super Bowls and being on great playoff teams. He's one of them. He did it with Andy Reid in Kansas City. So there's a lot of guys out there that really know how to build a championship team, and I think the Bears got it. I think this is a building year. I think there's an opportunity. Who knows if they can win the Super Bowl, but I definitely think the next game, and then how many other games they still got left to play, it's not going to be easy. It's never easy. Last night, it almost gave me a heart attack, I was praying to the gods. I was praying last night. I was literally crossing my fingers like I was at First Communion praying for a win. It came all the way back last night. I was like, oh, my God. I think I shed a couple tears last night with that win.
Ryan, I texted my friends in the middle of the game, and I said, either way, I think I'm going to cry when this game ends, whether they win or whether they lose. Now, I'm not a happy crier, so I was more shouting than that, but you're 100% right with the emotion. Thank you for the call, Ryan. I agree. It is the emotion, and it's just because of how special this team is to us as Chicagoans, and they finally overcame that big, bad team up north that has been dominant for so long. We're going to get to David Kaplan in just a second. I do want to take Roger's call, though, real quick before we get there. What's up, Roger?
Hey, guys. Thanks for the memories. And remember, again, this is always about our life and our memories. I think about myself. I'm 71. I went to the Bears games back at Wrigley Field with my dad. I went to many games. I went through the whole Super Bowl season back in '85, the Fog Bowl. I was there. I was watching Eric Dickerson trying to run into the end zone. The defense on the '85 Bears stood him right up and knocked him down. It's all about what we perceive in our lives and how this is so special. And you will remember it. Those guys I just heard on the telephone or on your program, they were there with their sons. They'll never forget that. The dad will never forget it. The sons will never forget it. And it's just part of our makeup. And we have to just continue that through what we do every day.
Roger, there are certain games and certain moments why we watch sports. And I was so excited to be able to talk with fans this morning and people like you and people who went with their sons to the games, because this is why we love sports. Games like these that can bring a city and people together, and the excitement in the stadium yesterday, and thank you for the call, Roger. The excitement in the stadium yesterday, like, this is why we watch the games, is for moments like these, for excitement like this. And the Bears have done it. They knocked off their rivals, and they are bringing this city together. And it is fun to see. We'll talk to David Kaplan coming up. I'm sure he's got some big opinions on the game. We'll talk to him. The Cubs signed Alex Bregman, too, who's an all-star third baseman and former MVP candidate. So we'll talk to Cap about all that coming up. Talking Bears until noon with you. Jack McGrath on ESPN 1000.
This is ESPN Chicago, Chicago's home for sports.
Attention basketball fans, the DePaul basketball season is here, and tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to see the Blue Demons live as they take on some of the top teams in the country. There's no better place to experience a game than Wintrust Arena, home of the DePaul Blue Demons. Get your tickets today at DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets and be part of the action. That's DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets. Go Blue Demons!
Get ready for the college football playoff with a $9.99 haircut coupon from Great Clips. Kick off your game day look with convenient online check-in and the Great Clips app. The skilled stylists at Great Clips salons will save your haircut details in clip notes. And with the $9.99 haircut coupon, you'll score elite savings too. Visit GreatClips.com/football to get a $9.99 haircut coupon. But hurry, offer ends soon. Great Clips, official sponsor of the college football playoff. Valid at participating salons. Terms apply.
Hey, this is David Kaplan. I dislike winter. Give me a 95-degree sunny summer day and I'm a happy guy. So I spend most of my winter free time indoors, and it's why I rely on Atomatic. They've been making Chicagoland homes and businesses comfortable for 80 years. I don't even have to think about the outside because my home is perfect all year round. If you're not feeling confident that your winter's gonna be carefree, go to Atomatic.com right now. That's Atomatic.com.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The New Year's sales event is going on at all 12 Hawk Auto locations in Forest Park, St. Charles, Plainfield, Joliet, Carroll Stream, and now LaSalle, Peru. Shop thousands of vehicles from 13 brands and save with 0% financing for 60 months or make no payments for 90 days. Plus, save even more with $500 to $2,000 bonus cash. Find your next car at HawkAuto.com and drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk.
HawkAuto.com.
Financing on select models with approved credit.
Texting
enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 369-369 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 369-369. That's HIM to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Bangs it, and Duvernay has to settle under it. A lot of hang time to the 28-yard line on the near side. Looking for blocks, gets one from Hardy, gets the sideline to the 50. He's got Robinson in front of him. He gets all the way inside the Packer 35.
That was a huge return by Devin Duvernay, and it almost felt Devin Hester-ish in terms of changing the momentum of the game. Hester was in the building last night as well, both Devin Hester and Brian Urlacher at the game last night, getting Bears fans pumped up. But Devin Duvernay with a big play on special teams that set up the Bears. It felt like the Packers were giving the Bears every chance to get back in that game, and the Bears, even though they won and came back, I feel like they still got unlucky. The Packers had an O-lineman fumble the ball, but the Bears couldn't recover because Javon Dexter bobbles it, and it goes out of bounds. Christian Watson fumbled at the 1-yard line, and the Bears couldn't recover it. They didn't recover Josh Jacobs' fumble. But even with the turnover bad luck, the Bears were still able to pull out the game because they stayed composed and continued to make second-half adjustments and be the comeback Bears that we've seen all season long. Let's bring in David Kaplan on the Yingling Guest Hotline. Cap, what's up? How you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm out to breakfast with my wife and my son, and like I'm looking around the restaurant right now. I'm talking to you, and there's so many people in Bears gear. And I said to my wife, like, look at the pride. Like when your team is winning, it's not just a regular season game. Those are cool. What happened last night was epic. I mean, literally epic. And you can tell me all you want, Packers fans, that, well, you guys got lucky, you came back. You just said it perfectly. The fumble at the goal line, we don't come up with it. The fumble by the big lineman, we don't come up with it. The fumble on the kick, we don't come up with it. It wasn't like they were handing us the game. They just played terrible in the second half, and Caleb Williams was magnificent down the stretch.
This game was so electric, and the fans were so great, but it felt like in the first half, the air got let out of the building just because of, I mean, the Bears were down by 18 points, and the Packers were getting the ball in the second half, and your team couldn't stop them on defense. The air was let out of the building. Was there ever a point that you gave up hope in this team? Because I was close. I was doubting, but I never gave up full hope just because of what we've seen so far this year.
No, I didn't because of what we've seen. Now, did I, put 10 grand on the Bears on the money line in the second half? I did not, but I'll tell you what I did do. My brother.
I thought you were about to say you did, and I was like, whoa, yeah.
Yeah. So when the Bears were down in the second half, one of my neighbors was at the house, and he said, what do you think the line is right now on the game? I said, no idea. What is it? And I'm pissed. He said, Bears plus 11.5. And I went, okay, they're going to cover that number. You should bet that. And then my brother texted me and said, Kit, let's bet Caleb Williams over rushing yards and over 225 passing yards. And so he did. I parlayed them. And I said, you know what, I'm all in. And I made a bigger bet than I normally make. I mean, not like it's going to change my life. And oh, my God, I should have had him for 350 yards.
Yep.
Because it was crazy. I didn't give up hope. And once they got the first stop, I'm like, okay, here we go. Now we need to score. And to get the field goal. And there was an idiotic 4th and 1. I still don't understand why you're trying to pass there. 4th and 1, run it right up the gut with Caleb or with Kyle Monungai.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Pick up the first down.
Yeah, Drew Dolman whiffed on his block, and he was right up the gut. That you're talking about the one that the Bears had in the second half near the red zone, and they tried to chuck it up to Roma Dunze because Caleb had no pressure. What do you think about the fourth down calls?
It wasn't near the red zone. It was down inside the 10.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think of the fourth down calls throughout the entire game? What about going for it in their own end of the field?
I did not agree with that at all. I thought that was one of the most ridiculous. You're down at that point, I believe, 14-3.
Yeah.
And you're still in the football game. Well, that one, I guarantee you Ben wants back. And I had said to Shea this week, Shea Norling, that Shea, don't be an idiot. He's not going for it on 4th and whatever at his own 32 in a playoff game unless the game's on the line at the end. And, of course, as soon as he did, Shea's texting me. And I said, doesn't make it right. That was idiotic. And I guarantee you, Ben Johnson is looking at that tape going, okay, I got to rein myself in a little bit here.
I think
he looked in the first half like a rookie head coach.
A little bit. I'd agree. He got out-coached, but I thought it was more schematically than anything else. But I think with that punt decision, the way that the Packers were moving the ball anyways and the amount of time on the clock, I think you had to go if you were Ben Johnson because all the momentum in that stadium was draining, and they needed a boost at that
you're
point.
Going for it?
I think I would have done this. I questioned it when it happened, but in hindsight, I think I would have done the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no chance I would have. Absolutely no chance. I got to force them to have to take time to get down the field. Hand them the ball at the 32-yard line the way your offense was playing at the time. No chance. I would never have done that. I thought it was idiotic. But I also did not understand. Like, I was supportive of of Ben taking his timeouts at the 3:15 mark when he did. So he says to himself, okay, if my defense can't get a stop, I'm not winning anyway.
Yeah.
And if my defense does get a stop, then I'm giving Caleb more time to try and win us the football game. So I was super cool with that. Absolutely had no problem. My problem, if I was a Packers fan, thank God I'm not, is why is Matt LaFleur burning timeouts when he did and then throwing 2 fade routes to Romeo Dobbs, the third one, or the second one, he throws out of bounds, so the clock stops. You don't force Ben to use his last timeout. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I thought Matt LaFleur, and I like him. I think he's a really good football coach. I would fire him if I was the owner of the Packers or the president. And if I was Matt, I would reject any contract extension. I would have a mutual parting of the ways because I was told by someone last night that Atlanta would hire him in a second and name the contract. They don't care. So if I was him, I'd want a fresh start. You guys need one. I need one. And if I was Ed Policy, their new president, gone, out. You can't bring him back.
Do you have any message for our friends up north at ESPN Milwaukee or any of those Green Bay fans up there that have been talking smack to you all week long?
Yeah, I just ordered an omelet with a whole bunch of shredded cheese. Take that, Green Bay. Rivalry engaged. It's back on, and guess what? Bears have taken 3 of the last 4, and they've got to sulk off over to Lake Winnebago, which is frozen. Do your ice fishing. Go have fun, because we're moving on. And whether the Bears win or lose next week, you can never take this from us. We beat your ass.
Cap, anything else I didn't ask you about before we let you off the line and back to breakfast?
Yeah, take that, Green Bay.
All right, that's David Kaplan on the England Guest Hotline. Jack McGrath with you for a bit more until noon. We'll get to the phone lines when we come back. Bears fans, it's your day. The Bears have beaten that big bad team from up north. It's a celebration on ESPN 1000. We'll be right back.
This is Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago.
Back in my glory days, I always showed up ready to perform, whether it was on the field or off of it. Confidence, energy, swagger, I had it all. And yeah, even little Johnny was playing like an all-pro. Now, thanks to Blue Chew, those days don't have to stay in the past. Blue Chew's chewable tablets give you that extra boost of confidence when it matters most. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like someone gave you a pep talk right where you need it. And here's the best part. It's all online. No awkward doctor visits. No standing in line at the pharmacy. Their licensed medical providers help you find the right fit, and it ships right to your door in a discreet package. Made in the USA, less expensive than the pharmacy. So, fellas, when it's your time to perform, don't just hope for the glory days. Bring them back. Head to BlueChew.com. Use promo code ESPN, and your first month is free. Just pay $5 for shipping. Blue Chew. Chew it and do it.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
You wouldn't hire an electrician to read a radio ad.
Service Construction of Illinois. I think this wire's bad.
You wouldn't hire the deck pro either.
Service Construction of Illinois. Now, I would layer that with a few coats to make it smooth.
You see, I, a professional announcer, can barely change a light bulb, but I can tell you with a soothing voice that Service Construction of Illinois has the craftsmen, contractors, and specialists to do it all. Whether it's a small job or complete renovation, start at serviceconstruction.net.
Out on the course, they're the PGA Tour's best players. But in the arena, they're prime time. And Season 2 of TGL presented by SoFi is back with lights, cameras, action. We're talking big moments, big personalities, big names in the stands, all on the big screen. Big-time matchups with shot clocks, hammer drops, timeouts, overtime, and playoffs. It's city versus city, squad versus squad. The sport just hits different under the lights. It's TGL presented by SoFi. Keep up. It's golf. Tune into every match. Only on ESPN.
Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your six figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year one needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, we've seen it all, and we're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box. Get started at hrblock.com.
Fourth quarter offense continues to get hot for the Bears. Third down and 4. Handoff Swift. Great block by Loveland. To the 5, to the 3, to the 2, to the 1, to the end zone. DeAndre Swift. Touchdown. Touchdown Bears. To the left side, Loveland. Comet now motions to the right boundary. Snap back. Pocket holds. Over the middle. Catch at the 2. Into the end zone. Olamide Zaccheaus. Touchdown Bears. Burden and a bunch sent to the left side numbers. Snap back, 4-man rush. Caleb with a double move. Throw down the left sideline. DJ Moore inside the 5. End zone. Touchdown. Touchdown Bears. They've taken the lead on the Packers with 1:43 to go. 25 yards. The same connection. Week 16. A walk-off win. This connection. A 3-point lead. Wow. Bears bring in all their DBs. They'll rush 3, 2 wide, 9, and 1 in the middle. Packers with 7 seconds left. 3rd and 15, ball on the 28. Snap to Love, drop the snap. Picks it up, keep him in the pocket. Love circles back, now rolling right, moving up, waiting to heave, still moving up. Now he throws to the end zone, and it's dropped. The interception dropped, but it doesn't matter. Game is over. Game is over. The Bears have come from all the way behind, and they beat the Green Bay Packers 31-27. All the ghosts of 15 seasons has been released into this cold January night, and the Bears, 5 coaches after they won their last playoff game, Ben Johnson brought belief into that building at Hallis Hall, and the belief carried over into a one-play-at-a-time mentality, down 21-3 at halftime. And they come all the way back to take the lead, 31-27. They brought us to the brink, Tommy. Bears are going to the divisional round, baby.
I'm fired the hell up. I ain't gonna lie to you. That feel good. It shouldn't have went like that, but definitely glad we can pull it out.
Jalen Johnson at the end of that one. And Does anybody put it better than Jeff Joniak and capture the emotions of Bears fans? All of the ghosts of the past 15 years into the cold air at Soldier Field. Like, I don't think there's a better way to describe the feelings of Bears fans yesterday. It was almost a weight off the shoulders, and you can hear it in my voice because I was yelling yesterday. I think all Bears fans were yelling yesterday because that was just a ridiculous game that the Bears were able to pull out. And I didn't believe it until the ball hit the ground on that very last play and the clock hit 0. I don't think the relief off the weight of the shoulders of just getting the Packers, finally getting the Packers after what feels like forever, and taking them down and beating them and eliminating them from the playoffs, sending them packing back up to Green Bay, and the Bears are moving on in the playoffs to face either the Philadelphia Eagles or the Los Angeles Rams, 2 games away from the Super Bowl. Jeff's in Arlington Heights. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's up, guys? Lifelong Bears fan. I know, like all the other callers here. I had a little conundrum for you guys. I'm lucky. My wife is due potentially the day of the Super Bowl, and I was wondering from you guys if you had any what your plans would be if you had a baby due on the potential day of the Super Bowl. We got 2 more wins to go, and I think it's super feasible. 1 at home, and looking forward to it. Going to be a big day, either way.
Are you asking what my plans would be?
Oh, I want to hear your advice from you guys. What you think you would be doing, and bringing the TV inside, or what?
Is it your first kid, or have you had
first kid?
First. So I think you're bringing the TV into the waiting room, into the hospital room. You can't. You got to be with your wife on that day.
Of course.
No, but are you thinking you might go to the game or go to the bar to watch the game? What's your plans here?
No, I just wanted to hear what you guys would think. I got to try to convince my wife to let me watch the game and keep it on the side or something on the phone.
Yeah, I think that's okay. There's TVs in hospital rooms now. There should be a TV in there, I would think.
Jeff, personal question for you. What's your last name?
My last name? Zabrin.
I will say, if the Bears are somehow there, your first kid's name is Ben Johnson Zabrin. just
or
right.
Caleb Williams Zabrin, right?
Even better. I think it's a lot different if the Bears aren't playing in that game, but you got to find a way to watch the game.
Right.
All
right. I have my little phone on the side?
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I think that's what you got to do, Jeff. I was concerned. Is he thinking he's going to go to a bar or something to watch the game instead? But I think phone in the room's okay.
They have TVs.
Yeah, exactly. There's TVs in hospital rooms nowadays, I think. So especially, I don't know. I haven't been in a delivery room before, but yeah, no. But probably you can have the game.
The last time I was in the hospital, the Bears happened to be playing on Prime. They didn't get Prime on the TV. I was pretty mad.
Yeah, I would be too. Let's go back to the phone lines. Joe's in Utah. Joe, how you feeling?
Amazing, and thank you for taking my call. Honestly, I started to lose hope after Caleb's second interception in the third quarter. It was just uncharacteristic, and then the Swift touchdown actually brought me back. The second thing to mention is the feeling about the team and Caleb. I was at the Bears-Cardinals Monday night game years ago, and this team was, feels opportunistic like that. And a few weeks ago, I was at the Niners-Bears game when they lost, and I felt like Caleb was going to win the game. It wasn't as heartbreaking because I really feel he can do it. And the last thing to mention is, like all of the Bears fans, what it means to me is, this was probably top 3 all time for me because I was able to watch it with my 5-year-old son who was wearing a jersey and helmet, running around the room with a football. I had my 11-year-old daughter watching it on the couch with me and my wife. And when they won, my kids ran up and hugged me. They knew what it meant to me. And so I hope they remember it nowadays, or in the future. So thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Joe. And this was a special game. The Bears finally beat the Green Bay Packers in one of the most exciting games that we have seen in quite some time. But we seem to get these game after game after game with this Bears team. And it has just been absolutely phenomenal to see them come back. And the confidence in Caleb Williams to come back in these games, it's there. He's clutch, and the Bears have not had a quarterback like this. They just haven't. Not a guy who you trust putting the ball in his hands that he is going to go down and win every single time you do it. Now, there's going to be 2-minute drills that they don't convert on. It happens. But in every single point this year, there's been a couple every once in a while. But generally, Caleb Williams has been that guy at the end of games. And I have the utmost faith in him as a player that he's going to be able to close out games and bring this team all the way. 2 more games away from the Super Bowl for the Bears. Quick update as well. Cubs signed Alex Bregman. Great day in Chicago sports yesterday. So this is my last message to you, Bears fans, as we get out of here. Enjoy today. Enjoy today. The Cubs made a big signing. The Bulls won. The Hawks won. And the Bears have finally, after 2 decades, taken complete control of the Green Bay Packers. And they own the NFC North. 2 more to the Super Bowl. 3 more to win it. It's going to be the Eagles or Rams coming up next week. You can hear all the coverage here on ESPN 1000. Jack McGrath signing off. Bear down.
And the last thing, the most important piece, is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
This is Chicago's home for sports. ESPN Chicago.
Hey guys, it's Sylvie. I know how tough it is dealing with lingering pain, whether it's your back, neck, or even headaches. You don't have to live with it anymore. Chiro One offers natural chiropractic care that can help you live pain-free without drugs or surgery. From everyday activities to getting back in the gym, or most importantly, playing with your kids, Chiro One has your back, literally. Visit ChiroOne.com today. They have locations across Chicagoland, including downtown Chicago, South Barrington, and Gurnee. That's ChiroOne.com, and let them know that Sylvie sent you.
Get ready for the college football playoff with a $9.99 haircut coupon from Great Clips. Kick off your game day look with convenient online check-in in the Great Clips app. The skilled stylists at Great Clips salons will save your haircut details in clip notes. And with the $9.99 haircut coupon, you'll score elite savings too. Visit greatclips.com/football to get a $9.99 haircut coupon. But hurry, offer ends soon. Great Clips, official sponsor of the college football playoff. Valid at participating salons. Terms apply.
Hey, Chicago, headed to a game? Take the CTA. We'll get you to the game and back for just $5.
That's less money spent on travel and more money in your pocket.
No searching for parking, no random surge pricing on rideshare, no traffic. We'll do the driving for you. The CTA has train stations and bus stops within steps of all the major stadiums and venues in the city. Plus, we've got tap to pay available on all CTA trains and buses. There's no need to purchase a ticket ahead of time.
Just tap and ride.
Plan your next trip at transitchicago.com/plan-a-trip. Save money, do more, ride CTA.
Just like a strong offense keeps moving the ball, Republic Bank of Chicago's business banking solutions can keep your company growing. Business checking, treasury management, commercial loans, big business, small business. Republic Bank has everything you need for your business. Our team is here to get you back in the game and moving in the right direction. Experience banking beyond expectations. Only at Republic Bank of Chicago. Member FDIC.